All right, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes. Can you hear me good? See me good? Shit. Let me know if you can hear me good, see me good. We're probably not going to get a lot of people to show up to the stream because I started it real late. But I wanted to check in since it's a new year and we're starting with not new content, but we're, you know what I mean. We have a different type of content lineup this year than we did last year because we cut some. But if you guys are in the chat, you're getting here, let me know if you can hear me. But I'm going to dive right into what's going on. Josh and Cody, let me know if you can hear me good. I'm going to dive into what's going on. And then we will, I'm going to test something real quick. And then we will, everything good? How was your Christmas and New Year? We got a lineup coming up. We have, yeah, let me just check the sound quality now. Oh, we're gold. All right, so we have things coming up like Halloween 2018, the Flaw vs. All review, the Friday the 13th Part 6. There was something else I'm missing. We just recently did Scream, the Flaw vs. All review, and I was a bit bummed on that one. I'll be honest. I took like a week off, and I was just working, and I just said screw editing for a week. Scream was one where I did some overtime editing, and I went nuts with it. I probably went a little too over the top. Just rewriting the script and then doing some editing and then doing some photoshopping. And the Scream video didn't do good at all. I know the way YouTube pumped it out, it just wasn't pumping it out either when it came to recommended, and I knew that was going to kill it early. But I also wanted to discuss some things with the titles coming up. I know behind this we have Dexter season, the New Blood season finished. So likely tomorrow I'm going to post the New Blood review. I wrote out 2 pages just so I can get some specific thoughts together. So we're going to talk about the Dexter season, the New Blood season, the finale and the review, likely tomorrow. After that, a day or two is going to be Antlers. I was excited for that. I recently watched it, bought it on Blu-ray. That was a little touch of disappointment. It was beautifully shot. The cinematography was beautiful. The body horror was beautiful and brutal. However, the story was kind of generic, and one of the things that hit me the most is I didn't know that Antlers was based on a short story. So I went and watched this short story, and we'll discuss this in my review, but it's the same problem as I Am Legend. The short story has a punch of a finale. And it leaves it to where it's like, oof, okay, that's a good short story. But the way the movie does it is it kind of tries to over wrap it up, like over end it, and it's the same as I Am Legend, where the short story ending is like, it's a mind blown. This is awesome. The read was tight to the point. It was suspenseful. It was entertaining. Same thing with Antlers. It reads really good. The movie is done really well up until the ending. So we have that coming up. What else? Small things. There was a request for, I don't know how many people are going to have too much interest, but we do have a steelbook. When I show off the movie rack for the Flaw vs. All reviews, there's been a handful of people that have been just dying for my top however many steelbooks, because I have a number of my most favorite movies in steelbook form, and I was going through my steelbooks and I'm like, all right, fine, we'll do the video because I love every steelbook. I'm like, oh, I love it, and that's because what I was doing was if it was a movie I loved, I would upgrade it to 4K with a new steelbook release. So I'm always waiting, like there's a movie I don't have that I love, and I'm still waiting for like a really good version to come out. Now, when they double release, what I'll do is I'll take the steelbook case, because I have like a really awesome steelbook, and they'll release something that has special features out the ass, but the case is kind of like, man, like the Scream Factory Halloween recently. I don't like those cases. They look cheap and generic. It's like Scream Factory paid me $50 to make a poster, and that's what they got. I mean, I don't like it. So when I get the Halloween, I'll likely get the Scream Factory release. However, I'll try to find, the old steelbooks and do a switcheroo. Anyway, so I'm going to write that down so I remember. Maybe the end of this coming week, we'll have the steelbook. These are some smaller videos I'll be able to put out, and then I'll edit together the Halloween 2018. Halloween Kills comes out on Blu-ray on the 11th, so I will be able to start the scripting and editing for Halloween Kills for a Flaw vs. All review, as well as Scream. I totally forgot. Scream 5 comes out January 14th. We don't have to wait. I'll do a first impression review. I have tickets to see it on the 14th or 13th, so I will be able to get it out like a day early a little bit. But let's pop out some of these questions. One thing I want to ask, a quick announcement though. I know we took a break for 2021, but we're back. Doomsday Kingdom. The volume is still available. You can buy it and read it right now. We have about 50 copies left, and then that is it. It is out of print. Get it while you can. That's it right here, Volume 1. However, we have up for pre-order for the very first time issue 5 and 6 bundle in physical form, and then issue 6 alone, 5 alone. There's the issue 5 with a sketch. You can email the artist. You're going to have to read these and get the details. I have a video coming as well that's going to cover the website and showcase. There's more I personally want to do with the Doomsday Kingdom website, where it's a little more than just Doomsday Kingdom, maybe where we can have a news section. Like we do have a news tab, and I'm thinking I want to do more with this. Maybe we can do more that's in the horror genre, comic genre, figures, horror figures, and do little write-ups just to put some little segments of, nuggets of stuff that's coming up. New movies, new hints of new movies. And again, it's going to be in the horror genre, but if you're interested, it's in the comics. You have digital. You can buy issue 5 right now and read it digital. But if you want to get 6, the way it works is the pre-order is open on the website. You go there, put your order in. We're going to soft close. What that means is at the end of January, we're going to soft close the pre-orders, and we're going to order like 50 more than how many orders come in. Just to give you an example. So if we get 500 orders, we're going to order 550 comics. Then we're going to leave the tab open until we sell out of the extra that we buy. Now, sometimes we can order another restock of 500 copies and get the website reloaded when it comes to the new comics, and do that for a few months. I think we did that with issue 1 and sold over... I forget. Issue 1 sold like a lot. I know we overpassed 1,000. Was it 2,000? I gotta look. But for example, we did bundles of one of them for 500 and did a reprint for 500. So it's all a blur right now because we order them in 500 at a time, 300 at a time. Issue 1 was crazy. We ordered like 800 at a time just because we had so much. But yeah, and then, like I said, we're going to soft close it at the end of January. Early February, they'll be at the printers, sometimes a week to 2 weeks at the printers. And then when we get them, depending on if they're signed, if they have to go to the UK and come back. But if you order just the USA and you're just getting issue 5 or 6 and there's no other, anything else that you order that complicates things, we should be shipping pretty quick, mid to end February-ish. So Doomsday Kingdom, there was something else. Doomsday Kingdom, we're going to be doing a separate video on that. But like I said, doomsdaykingdom.com, issue 5 and 6 are available now. Oh, back to something that I think is real important while I pop out the chat. The name, Flaw vs. All Review. Originally, it was called Cinema Score. And I found out, I don't know why I didn't know this, but I found out there's a legitimate company for a long time now that actually scores movies with an audience, and they give it a cinema score. And I read the history of the cinema scores, and I forget what it is. I think it's like an A through F type thing. Where's the chat? I'll pop that chat out. However, so cinema score I didn't want to use just because it was already being used, like officially. However, someone brought it up the other day why I do call it, I guess it slips from time to time. Somewhere I mentioned it was a cinema score instead of a Flaw vs. All review. And I got into talking with them over Facebook about, I started with Flaws and Aws, and there was some people who didn't know what Aws was, and it's just what's awesome. It's just the awe moments, you know? So that's when I was like, well, maybe we'll do Flaw vs. Aw, so that way they know it's the pro versus con. But lately I've been thinking more and more, even though there's an official thing out there that is cinema score for, you know, scoring movies, I was thinking, does that have a better ring to it? I know there was another reason, is because we have a dinger and we have a point system where our point system is real points. I know CinemaSins does like fake points. Their points don't actually matter. Ours, the point is it's a real score. So everything has a real score to it. And I was thinking, well, maybe we could, but I don't want to keep changing names and confusing things. So I thought, well, maybe going into 2022, we'll play around with it a little bit and see what you guys have to say. When I redid the Scream, because I put a lot into the Scream, where is it at? The Scream Flaw vs. Aw. And even when I did the thumbnail, here's some backup thumbnails. These are just backup ones. I did 40 of them because it just was not getting any distribution on YouTube. It wasn't getting promoted, and it was driving me nuts because people that, and we're going to get to the comments in a second, so hold on, AP. It wasn't that, if people watch it and they're like, it is what it is. I know I failed somewhere. I messed up. It was too long. I was too dry. It was, it was whatever. I'm going to show you guys all the different thumbnails I made, keeping the same kind of theme, and there's even more. These are like the second batch. I made like 15 thumbnails that I thought were really good, similar to this one. I love that artwork. But, what's driving me nuts is with the Flaw vs. All reviews, the comments and the feedback I'm getting is through the roof insane. It's intense. It's better than anything I've done, or it's as good as the best stuff I've done, where I've done videos in the past and they've gotten huge feedback, and Flaw vs. All reviews gets that and then some. But again, the numbers and the stats are just in the gutter. Some of these were nice. I like the colors that pop. And I'm trying to find ways to kind of pick it up and, like I said, build that community, so then we don't have to rely on the e-begging technique, the Patreon. I don't want to have to come on here and say like, well, it's a smaller community, so we're going to try to fund it directly on Patreon. I know we have a Patreon, but that's kind of like the safety net of when the channel's not bringing anything. At least Patreon brings in $100 a month to put to something, that's going into making the content. Yeah, someone said Telly Tally was decent. That channel got taken down. YouTube out of nowhere said the Telly Tally channel was gonna be the new start for all Flaw vs. Aw reviews, but I got a message from YouTube that said Telly Tally broke community guidelines or something, and it was a channel I just started, and I was testing uploads on there that I didn't have on my channel. And YouTube came in and they were like, oh, and they still haven't told me why. Part of me was thinking I had the same videos as I do on the Map channel, so maybe they thought I was copying Map when I'm actually Map, And but then I thought, well, that's not it, because when I upload a video on Tally. It's a different edit. It might be the same joke or flaw versus all, but it's a corrected edit where it has corrections in it. So it's not 100%. You can't put them, but I mean, 98% of the video is the same. So maybe that's the problem. So yeah, they took away my Tally channel. But anyway, long story short, I did a Cinema Score set of thumbnails. I just put that on this morning, I think, for Scream. I'm going to let that rock for a week and see how that sits. But I did want to get feedback. Now we're going to go into the comments and we'll hear what you guys have to say. But I want to get feedback. What do you guys like? I know Tally, I liked that first. And Tally was the channel name, not the content name, though. I want to be very clear. Like, you know how Dead Meat does kill counts? Well, Dead Meat isn't the kill count. Kill count's the kill count. That's the video. Dead Meat's the channel. Well, Tally was the channel because the whole idea with that channel I created was it was going to be everything that has to do with scoring, top 10, 20 greatest, 5 most memorable. So anything that was on TV that got a tally, like some sort of list or top list. And I love that idea. I was like, oh, that's great. I can market that. I think that'll blow up. You know, Tally channel with all Flaw vs. All and top 10 list, 5 moments, 20 greatest. But like I said, YouTube removed that channel and they haven't answered me on why. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the deeper into, I talked about this before, the deeper intos, it's funny because we still talk about them now, but the deeper intos are the very first Flaw vs. All reviews. Now, again, I could just reuse that name and say Deeper Into Scream, and it would work. I think that would work great. I mean, maybe we should try that and see how that works. However, the Cinema Score, Flaw vs. All reviews, that's the finalized version of what I started with Deeper Into. Because Deeper Into took the episode of, we started with The Walking Dead, and we said, well, why did this scene happen? Why was it written this way? Here's the plot. How was the plot? Here's the scenery. Here's the atmosphere, the music. What was good and bad? Now, I didn't have the point system at that time. It came like a year later. At first, I was just focusing on covering everything of the structure of it and showing people, here's why they wrote that. Here's why this person, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then we would also discuss what about it we liked, what about it we didn't, the good CGI, the bad CGI. That's what Deeper Into was. But then there was something about it that the Deeper Into was a funny one. I did it for 6 months or so and no one watched Deeper Into. I mean, there was like 500 people. It was one of the worst uploads I've ever had on the channel, even for The Walking Dead. I could upload, you know, Enid is an ultra spy, half robot, and 50,000 people would watch that video knowing going in it's ridiculous. It's going to be bullshit. I could do that and people would eat on it. It'd be, you know, they would feast on that shit. But when I did a Deeper Into, you know, it would be up for an hour and like 50 people watched it. Now the other video, it'd be up for an hour and 10,000 people watched it already for The Walking Dead. So what happened was I stopped making Deeper Into because it just was not, it would take a week to edit a Deeper Into and no one would watch it. A year goes by. I don't hear a word. A year goes by. I start seeing comments. Hey, what about Deeper Into? Yo, bring that back. And I start looking. Deeper Into videos are getting 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views. And I'm like, where were these people a year ago? You know what I'm saying? Like, if it was hitting right from the gate, man, even like in the first 6 months, like there was 1,000 views when I quit Deeper Into. And we're talking, at the same time, my Walking Dead videos on average were hitting 20,000 on a terrible video, 50 on the average, and I was having you know, the once a month 1 million hit video, and so Deeper Into was hitting like 1,000 views for months, and I gave up. I think the one was 1.4 thousand for the most views, and I just quit. I had to. It took a week. I could jump on screen, talk about The Walking Dead for 10 minutes about, you know, whatever kind of shit they're doing next, and that'll get 100,000 views. But I sit there and edit a whole Deeper Into. But people love the Deeper Intos. I loved making them. now it's been years since they're off, and I get a lot of people that bring that back. We only made like 5 Deeper Into videos, but like I said before, at the time I thought something was missing with them. Maybe we needed some type of connection between them. Maybe we can score it, since it's The Walking Dead. We can score it. So then we show, well, this is why the writer chose this. I still think Joker's one of my absolute best videos, the Flaw vs. Joker review. And it's because of breaking down the writing and showcasing why they chose those scenes. Like, for a quick example, in Joker, they show Arthur sad looking out a window in a car, a train, a bus. And then he's sad looking out a window, and it's a train. And at the very end of the movie, once the city's eaten itself alive and Arthur, realizes the city sees him, and I break it down real nice, but he looks out the window and he's in the back of the police car, and he's sad at first, but when he recognizes that Gotham City recognizes him, and people see him, like he wrote in his journal, he goes from being sad to extremely happy. And that's why it's broken. That's why they focus on those scenes. That's why it was written that way, filmed that way, showed that way. And I think it is beautiful. A lot of what they did in Joker was incredible, cinematic-wise. It's a very simple story, but I love it. Well, those things, I thought, if we give it a point system, we can now take the Walking Dead videos, and at the end of each year, however long it took, we can sit there and say, like, here's our top 10 Walking Dead videos of all time based on the Deeper Into point system. But like I said, when I was once I gave up on that and I started restructuring, I did the name change, and the point system was another big thing. And no, they both went from the very beginning to the very end. That stayed the same even through the beginning of when I was working on what structure I would do. Instead of just starting and covering the whole movie, we would only talk about what's on screen at the 1 minute mark, 2 minute mark, 3 minute mark, all the way through. You know what I'm saying? Instead of jumping from beginning of the movie to end of the movie and yada, yada, yada. Let's get some comments and then we'll bounce back and forth. Dexter was such a disappointment, rushed and predictable. They're definitely doing a Harrison focus season 2 announcing tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to be doing much announcement. I'm going to disagree with you on that. And like I said in my review, I even said it would be absolutely stupid to announce that, just because it would make the ending of the finale of Dexter illogical if they followed up focusing on Harrison, but we're going to get into spoiler-free / spoiler discussion on Dexter tomorrow with a specific video. Yo, Ronnie, been missing you, bro. Looking good. Thanks for hard work. I appreciate that, Brian. I appreciate that. Thoughts on Dexter finale? Dexter finale was interesting at first. I'm going to give a more in-depth review. It was interesting at first because it was fresh. Again, hot, cold, hop in Miami versus... there's barely anyone living in this location. They did a little flip. But we also had the new Dexter who doesn't kill, turning it back into the old familiar Dexter. They redid a lot of story beats that they did before. So there's the fresh and the familiar. It started out rocky because each episode they were forcing social commentary and everything. School shooting's good, so let's jam that in the one episode. Billionaires fighting climate change. Let's throw that in. Lead up to 2 or 3 episodes and then forget about it out of nowhere. And it makes absolutely no sense why it was even a focus at all. Shit like that. The only one that they at least stuck it out with was the indigenous women go missing. That's been something they've done in Hollywood every now and then. And that is a breeding ground of potential interesting storytelling. But then you get a little tricky because now you're taking real people's pain and you're making entertainment out of it. But that is a real thing. There's even a real serial killer. So there's the stuff that's been done before, maybe not on Dexter, but with Dexter, it started about rocky yet interesting. It was glad to have him back. At the very, very end, there was a little bit that left me deflated because it got really exciting. There was a moment where she was like, I don't need my boyfriend. I need Dexter Morgan. And that was like the peak where shit was getting good. It fell a bit. It left me a little disappointed. I will say, even though I left a flick of disappointment at the very end, I am glad we got new blood instead of the old ending from the old season of Dexter. What's up, AP? 22 months. Thank you for being a member. I'm trying to do something where we're going to focus on, because we have to rebuild the community. We went from, Walking Dead heavy focus for years. Why am I punching this? So we have to rebuild a community where we're still going to, once in a while, we're going to cover The Walking Dead just because it's going to come up. We're still doing Flaw vs. All. But I'm taking a break for a few months. Maybe mid to late 2022, we'll do another video of The Walking Dead, just covering, I don't know, maybe the next 8 episodes. I'm not in a rush to watch them, so I'm not reviewing each episode. But maybe once they're all released, we'll discuss it. Maybe as a surprise, you guys will get Season 2, Flaw vs. All, Episode 1. So that way we're going in order, because I already finished Season 1 of The Walking Dead completely. If you guys haven't seen that, you can watch that on the channel still. So we're still going to be doing stuff, but it's not going to be anything like it used to be. So we're rebuilding the community here in 2022 on the channel. And one big part of that, I feel, is maybe we will lean on Patreon support and memberships. Fuck, I keep punching this thing. And memberships on the channel, and try to get a lot of people to jump on board just to float us until the Flaw vs. All. Because if we built that up, I talked about this before, let's say, just for shits, I don't want people getting nervous, and no one rush to Patreon at all right now. I'm just giving you an example. Let's say Patreon and the memberships, we're bringing in $2,000 every single month just to get things done. Tomorrow, I am doing 1 a week, Flaw vs. All, without missing a beat, because then I'll take my second job and I'll kick that to the curb. And then I'll do the Flaw vs. All, and then we'll rock it until we're hitting 50,000 to 100,000 views on every episode. And then we can do a follow-up and say, the support got us where we're going. If anyone wants to bail out now, support-wise, pull your support. We're going to rock with sponsors and ad revenue. That's probably something I'm going to be looking into doing in 2022, just to at least give the consistent uploads, because my main goal is, I feel if we can do it once a week within 6 months, I think we'll build up the community real strong. At least I feel, because we're getting a lot of solid feedback from the Flaw vs. All videos, but the problem is YouTube is like, nah. Some of my older Walking Dead videos are still getting more views. So what YouTube is doing is they're taking my older Walking Dead videos and they're promoting them more than my new Flaw vs. All. So I'm like fighting the channel itself. You know what I mean? And that's killing me. When I'm looking at my analytics, I'm like, I wish I could just go in there and shut off the other videos and say, YouTube, stop promoting them. We're rebranding. Just chill, Let us pump out the new stuff. Just give it a chance. If you get it into a new audience, I feel like they're going to be on board. What did you say, though? You enjoyed Spider-Man. I haven't seen Spider-Man yet. I grew up loving Spider-Man as a kid, and for some reason I still enjoy it, but I don't think I've watched Spider-Man in years. Andrew Garfield, I don't think I watched any of his. I don't know, man. I'm just not into. I'm not big on like Marvel unless it's like a big event. I like really dark and gritty. I was just talking about this. Peep this, and I'll tell you this because this was a little short story I was thinking about putting into a comic book format just to release it as a bonus alongside of Doomsday Kingdom. Get with an artist, and that way we're not bogging James down with doing art. But just for a real quick example, you get this ideal of a Superman-like character, and he's all smiling, and he's the hero. He gets word that downtown's being attacked by like a Doomsday-like character, and there's a mother with her young daughter there, like 5 years old, and the Doomsday character's right in front of her, snatches up the mother, and just as he picks her up, looks at her, the Superman hero character shows up all generically triumphant, and then he beams his lasers, which I tweaked them to do something a little different that I love. I hate when the superheroes just shoot lasers out of their eyes. In my version of the superhero, it actually burns their eyes and it burns their skin, and when they heal up, it takes them a few minutes to a few hours to heal because they're actually burned, their eyes, and they don't see as good. So it's like a superpower, but it also has like a recharging rate where if they just straight burn laser out of their eyes, they'll explode their own head eventually. You know what I'm saying? So he shoots his laser beam. You see a point of view of the mother, and she's all nervous and terrified. And then she gets all like, there was a way to do it where when you're reading it, you're assuming the laser beam hits him now, and you hear like a psh, so the mother goes from being super terrified to being like, oh shit. And then they pan out, and the Doomsday guy just ripped the mother in half. The mother's blood and guts spills all over her daughter on the street. Shit is fucking vicious. And the laser beam just plows into him at the very last second. Like just a split second away. And the laser beam hits the Doomsday, hurts him a bit, but he chucks the legs of the mother ripped in half at the superhero, who Superman dodges down, and then the Doomsday chucks the upper half of the body at the kid to try to like a bowling ball, knock the kid out like bowling pins. But the Superman gets there in time, catches the upper half, and we have this cool 2-page spread of, the Superman-like character holding this mother, arms all flailed out, guts, spine, blood just pouring out, but he's only holding the top half of her, and the kid is just like screaming crazy like mommy, covered in, maybe there's some guts in her hair, I don't know. Another character shows up, and I forget, but there's a couple more moments. But part of the superhero theme in that was kind of take the shit they're doing in, imagine like The Boys, but not as comedic. It's more grounded, but not as dark as The Watchmen, or not, you know what I'm saying? Like not like that, but not that. Just make it a little more grounded and show some stuff that we don't see in superhero movies that it would be refreshing to see. Like it would be refreshing to see. Imagine thousands of people just over the moon happy with you that you saved their life, you saved their friend's life, their mother's life, their son's life, daughter's life, their child's life. Like you are, oh my God, they owe you. They're so appreciative. But at the same time, you just witnessed people that didn't make it. Not everyone's going to make it. So there's going to be this dichotomy there between the 10,000 people that are saved because of you, but the weight of the 10 people that died that you didn't get there in time, it's almost as even. It feels great to save 10,000, but it feels equally as bad to lose the 10. So it would be like fucking intense, on that scale, going into things. I was even sitting the other night and I was thinking, man, if you had somebody with budget, cool looking superheroes, and I was sitting there thinking, like, imagine the type of visuals you can get being grounded, yet epic, fighting in the night sky, plowing through a house, is like kind of out in the middle of nowhere, leading into a city. I mean, some crazy shit like that. You can do the Superman versus Doomsday, like, my God, like never before seen, but never the way DC will do it. They'll, at least not anytime soon, they won't do it. And part of the thing that you have to do is Doomsday has to look like Doomsday. Like if you gave me money right now to reboot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the first thing I'm doing is taking the 1990 movie look and I'm touching it up so they can look extremely similar, but they can move better. They tweak some things that weren't as goofy, and we're on and rocking from there. A 1990s remake that visually captures that nostalgia right now would bring you so much fucking money. It's unreal. It's unreal. I'm convinced that shit would be insane. The love and appreciation for that is through the roof. And again, as long as you teeter on that borderline of stop making it for kids and make it for kids with a more adult curiosity. And I don't mean like throw tits and like, scandalous shit in there. No, when I was younger, what I didn't love this kiddie shit. Even when I was real little, I remembered watching Star Wars and watching Luke go down into the cave, and it's creepy. It seems like it's not even for kids. Kind of scary. And Darth Vader, the villain's there. And it's intense. And he, cuts his head off. And it's Luke's head underneath, And it's a metaphor for Luke himself. As a kid, I have no fucking clue what's going on. I don't know. I know that wasn't like the real Vader. But outside of that, all I know, it was creepy. It was powerful. And it wasn't made for kids. You didn't sit down you didn't write that, film that, set it up visually. The cinematography, you didn't film that for children. You filmed it because you thought that was perfect for the story. And what ended up happening is kids with a more adult curiosity were hooked. Because they were like, I might not know what that means, but there's something here that's deeper than a kid's show. And that's what I think Hollywood gets. It goes right over their head. They want to make shit for kids, but you don't write for the age that you're writing for. You write for like 12-year-olds when you're getting 9-year-olds. You write for 15-year-olds when you're actually getting 12-year-olds, because their brain is feeding. They're always feeding up, never down, in the masses, the majority, especially with kids. And that's how you do it. The shit they're doing now is ridiculous. Like, I'm convinced that's how George Lucas failed on the prequel. What he did was he was like, these are for kids. These are for kids. Two things he did wrong. One, he forgot what the fuck what kids are emotionally and mentally, psychologically. In his mind, he's thinking these are for kids. In his mind, he's thinking these are for babies. These are for little toddlers. These are for people in diapers. So he started making shit that was for like little baby children. And when I saw Star Wars, I grew up on the original. They were out like 10 years before I was born, but I still grew up on them on TV, on reruns and shit like that. But what ended up happening is now I'm the perfect age when the new Star Wars is coming out for Phantom Menace. Not the new, but the second new. And when I was watching it, I'm thinking like, and I was the perfect demographic. Grew up with Star Wars. I was a young kid at the time. Perfect demographic. I might have been like maybe like a year or two too old. I think it was like 15 when they came out. 14. Something like that, right? Might have been a little too old. But I'm watching this thinking like, this is for babies. What is going on? The Darth Maul shit was fire. But what the fuck else is going on? You know what I'm saying? So, anyway. Yeah, Bob Saget, rest in peace. This is Corey J. Made a new channel. Good luck with the new channel, buddy. I've seen the one with Helen Hunt. Yes, that's a woo. I don't know about that one. Oh boy, she's kind of scary in that one. Hey Ronnie, you want to say thank you for all the content over the years. My passion for The Walking Dead is burnt out, but the show meant a lot to me, and your channel brought loads of great memories over the years. Well, thank you very much. As long as we can be, happy for the memories, but move along with the times, we got to. I just don't have it for what's going on. Somebody just today in my Discord, I should share. If you're in Discord, share a link. Maybe I'll try to get a link if anyone wants the Discord link. one of the biggest things is because they write The Walking Dead to sucker us in the next week. And each week tries to sucker us into the next week. Like, oh yeah, but next week is when it's really going to kick off. Next week. And every now and then they give us stuff, but then they say next week it's when they're really going to, give it to us. And they don't. They keep that system going, and then once in a blue moon they give us something fire. And it's like the gimmicky shit writing is killing me, man. I can't do it. So I refuse. I canceled my AMC Plus premiere. I'm not tweeting anything about The Walking Dead, not out of hatred or spite, just out of at a last-ditch effort to please, if you're going to fix the franchise, to at least do some good movies, because the show's already done. They've already filmed it. They've already made the mistakes. If you're going to do the spin-offs and Tales for the Walking Dead, numero uno, focus on the budget. Give it some money that it fucking deserves. You're already rich as shit, everyone involved, so just fall back. The money men. Give it money it needs. It will produce more money for you. I don't know how that's so hard to understand. But also on the flip side, stop with the gimmicks. Stop trying to trick people to watch what's coming next. Just give them something fire to watch, and they'll be so like, damn, they'll have to feast on what you bring out next to get that, chasing the dragon enjoyment they got from what they enjoyed previously. Don't trick them with gimmicks. Satisfy them with enjoyment. And then from there on out, best of luck. Did I watch Cobra Kai? No. I've seen Cobra Kai. I rewatched season 1. I totally remembered. I didn't even finish season 2, but I'm excited. My daughter's watching it like crazy right now. I even bought Karate Kid so she can watch that and then go back to Cobra Kai in season 2. And it was like a mind blow because she was rooting for Johnny, and then she watched the movie, and now she's like, I'm rooting for, Karate Kid, but I'm still kind of rooting for Johnny, but he was a dick. But then at the end of the movie, he was kind of cool, but then his teacher was a jerk. That's kind of trippy. That was when YouTube was messing with you. I remember a lot of vids got flagged. Yeah, back then. I feel like, I'll say something a little boastful right now. I feel like AMC, someone in AMC was pulling some shit, and I got him to stop. And I'll explain real quickly what I mean by that. Out of nowhere, there was a point in time for months where AMC was flagging anything that had a moving video. It got so bad, I took a picture of a scene of the dude from Fear the Walking Dead, the son, getting out of the ocean. I took a screenshot every 2 seconds, 4 screenshots, and I made my own GIF, right, of a coming out of the ocean, just like this. The GIF, how it not even a smooth GIF, like one of those 3 frames a second type ones. So I made this, and I put it in a little corner, like my face is in a little box here, and I put that in a talking head video for 30 seconds, and it got claimed by AMC. They weren't blocking it. What they were doing was they were taking everyone's ad revenue. And it got so bad that everybody on Twitter, anyone that was reacting to it, AMC was taking all their shit. And I forget what happened. I'm pretty sure I got some information from, you'll have to watch my old videos, but somebody told me along the lines that there was something shady going on. And I made a video saying, listen, guys, I got someone who's giving me some more inside information soon, but here's the breakdown. What it seems like, we have to reach out to AMC because it seems like whoever's running the social media side of it, maybe they're making more money if they can bring up the revenue on social media. So what they were doing is they were copyright claiming for the ad revenue any and every video they possibly could. Even if there was a small chance there was a little clip, they were just claiming, and it wasn't all automatic claims. They're manual ones. Someone was purposefully going in. I think it was a month after I made that video, it immediately slowly trickled and then it disappeared. It's still bad, but it's nowhere near what it was. For a few months there, you couldn't post anything. AMC was just taking it all down. Search for my video. I think it was in the middle of a Fear the Walking Dead season where I made that video, but that stopped a few months after that. But that was fucked up. As a new name, Neck Deep Cinematics, yeah. Deeper Intos were gold. Ryan, do you prefer the current CGI for Godzilla and King Kong or a guy in a suit? Well, that's a tricky one. I prefer the new one now, just because when you go back to the guy in a suit type thing, for Godzilla and King Kong, it doesn't work as much because of a lot of the dynamics going into it. I think a guy in a suit works tremendously well for a lot of things, and a combination of both is probably best. But they made the monsters, they're so big now, especially, well, they've always been, especially Godzilla, he's always been big, but just do it how they're doing it now, as CGI is getting better. It's all about hitting YouTube recommendations, having your videos pop up under other videos recommended. Yeah, recommended videos are huge, and right now, I'm not getting any traffic for YouTube recommending my videos. That's why I absolutely love Deeper Into. They were breaking down great episodes from The Walking Dead. It had extra info splashed in them as well. What do you think of the Dexter finale? Thought it was fitting. I guess I didn't miss anything, so that's cool. Just looked up Deeper Into videos, and I think maybe the thumbnails could be part of why they didn't hit for subscribers anyway. Well, I changed them after. We have numbers now for the thumbnails, I think, which is funny because with those thumbnails, they're doing better than ever. Before there was a little map, like a corner of the thing with MAPP, and it was like a little border, and it said Deeper Into, and it had big, epic picture of Rick in one, Daryl in one, Maggie in one. Those were the initial. And then somewhere along the lines, I wanted to combine them into thumbnails that were uniform. So I threw the numbers up as like a cinematic one. And as soon as I did that, I quit doing Deeper Into. And ever since then they've been doing great. But, yeah, the thumbnails are really important for sure. Yeah, I heard they're talking about doing another scene, the main character. I'm going to look at information for that because I don't see how that makes any sense with how it ended at all. Like, at all. Not even a little. What did I miss on Flaw vs. All update, etc.? The exchange between him and Angela was so good. I was at the edge of my seat. Or was the ones I liked? Did I watch the third season of Scream? It was so bad. I refuse to watch anything from the Scream TV show, if that's what you're talking about. The reason for that is because of this. This is a picture of the new Scream face for the TV show. I believe it's because they didn't have rights. And in a way, I'm kind of glad because I don't even view the TV show as canon at all. First off, why would I be afraid of someone who looks like they're going to blow me? I mean, this looks like a sex doll. Who the fuck thought this was a good idea? Who at Hollywood seriously sat down? It takes multiple people to okay this. Who at Hollywood said, hey, I got an idea for the Scream mask. You want to see the concept image? Yeah, let's do it. And then they brought this up on the screen. And the other person sitting there was just kind of like, okay, he looks like he's about to suck my dick, right? Why the fuck would anyone be afraid of this literal cocksucker? What the fuck are you doing? Why the fuck would you bring this shit to me? You know what I'm saying? He about to suck some cock. What are you talking about, man? Get this fucker out of here. Look at this shit. Look at this. He gonna blow me in a dark alleyway. He ain't gonna stab me. Shit. I might be happy to see this motherfucker show up, It'll be a happy ending. What is going on here? Who designed that? It looks like a sex doll. What are you doing? Where's the creative team here? I mean, this was fun and interesting because it had this The meta within Scream worked so well with a real Halloween costume at the time. They licensed from Fun World a real Halloween costume that wasn't wildly popular, but it was popular enough where a good chunk of people recognized it. And they were like, oh yeah, it's a Halloween costume. The Killers used a fucking Halloween costume with all the meta. It was perfect for Scream. And it has a cool look to it. You see this right here? It's got not that. That has a cool look to it. Fucking awesome, you know? And then they turn that into this. What are you doing? So as soon as I saw the mask alone, I refused. Oh my Lord. I got to move this setup. I refuse to watch the Scream TV show. Definitely more Flaw and Awe. Yeah, Flaw and Awe is the main thing that's sticking around. My problem is how quickly can we get them pumped out? Like I said, the next one that's coming is Halloween 2018. It's already a couple weeks late. But Scream deflated me, though. After I put the Scream Flaw vs. All review is the absolute most editing I've put in. I mean, there's over 55 hours of editing in there. And we're not even at 1.5 thousand views yet. I mean, that's bad. That's terrible. But again, YouTube is not recommending it enough. And they're not doing it on purpose. Their system is just designed to take your best videos and put it out there. And if you're rebranding, that is hard. I thought maybe if I fall back and I didn't upload for a good chunk of time, and I've been doing this for months now where we're doing small uploads. And that's because my older videos are still doing so well that the newer ones are competing against my old videos. I got some of them, and again, it's only a handful because a lot of the older Walking Dead reviews no one watches anymore because no one cares to watch like an old review of an old TV show. And again, it's like simple reviews, so it's not like breaking down the story and all that. The deeper intos are getting more traffic than anything. What is my favorite Scream sequel? I don't know. I think they're all equal. I'm not a fan of any of them. In all honesty, I'm not a fan of any of them. I mean, they're okay, but I don't know. I think, yeah. Is it 3 where the voice changer? Is it 3? That alone, I can't fuck with. I can't. When you take something that's so ridiculous and unrealistic as a voice changer that can mimic any voice, how would it even know to do that? How would it? What button would you push for it to know mimic this voice? Even if there was a sliding scale that mimicked someone's voice, there's a certain tang to people's voices that it's just stupid. And I can see the pressure writing Scream 3 and you need some type of gimmick and you're like, oh, I know, the killer can now, fool them with the voices. It's like, no. Excuse me. They're promoting Walking Dead Origins as a new special before part 2 starts. It's just the actors commentating over recaps. Yeah, they promoted that Origins before, and I got so many comments that were like, what is this shit? I thought it was new stuff. I made a video early on telling a lot of you as much as I could. It was not new. It was just an interview stretched over old footage, and that's apparently what it is. So I tried to warn you. It's just, what I called it? Bonus content on a DVD. And that's literally what it is. So go into it expecting not much more than that. Apparently the showrunner of Dexter New Blood said it's up to Showtime. One of those type deals. That's like a normal comment to say, but I still think it's kind of stupid of him to say that. Unless he means Showtime's in control, like the showrunner and the writers, that's how they wrote it, but Showtime owns the IP. So if Showtime wants to say, yeah, fuck your ending, we're going to make it anyway, do you want to be on board or not? And then I guess it's up for him to say, well... YouTube pushes quantity over quality. They want you uploading at least 4 times a week to stay in the algorithm. They do not reward hard work anymore. Very unfortunate. Yeah, I mean, I was thinking at least to to do mini videos. That's why I was going to review the new Scream one, some smaller things just to get content out each week. And I don't know. You guys let me know what you're in the mood for. We're going to talk about Antlers. I already watched that. I bought the DVD, so we might as well talk about it. I thought it was going to be a lot better than it was. But it was beautiful, brutal, but the ending just was generic. We're going to talk about Scream. I'm seeing that on the 14th. I'm going to show off the steelbooks. Also, maybe I'll pick up Halloween Kills on a steelbook form. The steelbook's lame anyway. It's just a red. I'm only picking it up because I'm going to review Halloween Kills. So we'll do mini videos like that. Oh, you know what I was going to ask? Honestly, over on the Ronnie Hayes channel, again, we haven't done gaming in a while because I got a PS5 now and I haven't even set it up, so I don't have the PS4 anymore, but we can do it through the PS5. But I haven't even pushed power yet. I've been so busy working. So my thing is, with the Ronnie Hayes channel, I moved the figure reviews and stuff like that over there as well. But I was thinking, with this being entertainment and everything along the lines of that, should we keep the figure reviews on the Ronnie Hayes channel, or should we move them over back over to here? So this has anything that has to do with entertainment, meaning the first impression reviews of new movies, older movies, maybe some, I don't know, specific news stuff that we chat about, anything that's movie related, steelbooks. I don't know. I'm trying to say anything. I don't know what's going to come up that's going to be exciting to talk about. That's in the entertaining aspect. And then the Ronnie Hayes should be just the gaming streams and random. I mean, even if I wanted to jump on, I saw a video of somebody arguing. It was like literally a Karen or something. And I forgot it now, but I just had the urge to throw it on YouTube and just have a discussion about this person's attitude because it was that annoying. I think I even saved it in my phone, but I cooled down and I thought people don't want to see me bitching about Karens. Chase Abel with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for the support, homie. Ronnie, love the Flaw in all videos. Too bad YouTube algorithm is not it. Keep up, man. Love the content. Thank you very much, bud. If there was a way for YouTube to say, okay, if you're rebranding, click this button, and what we'll do is we'll promote your new stuff and we'll try to get it out to a wider audience and latch it on to other stuff. Like, I thought Scream was going to do real well because, coincidentally, whatchamacallit, Dead Meat ended up doing Scream. Did they do Scream at the same time or close to the same time, or was it something different? They did some type of Scream thing, and I was like, okay, you know what? They're doing Scream. They're a big channel, so I'll get recommended at least sometimes because it's, again, the topic is all the same. However, their system is a little bit different now where it's likely just promoting Dead Meat all the way through, and once in a while it's given like other Scream stuff. But it's just not doing good enough to catch on with heavy promotion. But if they allowed you to say, we're rebranding, pump this out, forget the old content, because even if people watch the old stuff, you know what's weird? I did a video talking about these parents that were horrible parents, Daddy05, and I don't know why. It's been years. That video is blowing up. It gets like 500 views a day. I don't even understand it. My comment section now, my new comments, instead of getting comment sections on my end, it just shows me a list of the new comments for today. It's all from the Daddy05 video. It's like people saying these are degenerate parents. Once in a while, somebody is like, you're lying. They were faking it. It's like, bro, this shit is old. How do you not notice? Anyway. Yeah, season 2 Flaw and all would be great too. I think it would be fun. I'm actually excited to do at least especially the pilot, and then get into the Sophia stuff. I think that will be real fun to break down. Scream, the show, had some good characters. The actor that played Noah was damn likable. Pretty much made the show for me. I didn't even get into it. The Mask just did it for me. I did watch like 30 minutes, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I did that recently, too, like 6 months ago. I was like, I hate The Mask a lot, but maybe if I, see it in action, I don't know. The type of story, I just couldn't do it. I don't agree. You see a lot of the best channels only upload one video a week, doing better than daily uploaders. Yeah, no, you can. I think his heart was in the right place, but constant uploads does get heavy favor because it's not just YouTube. Now, don't forget this. It's not just YouTube. A lot of people have pulled away from the old way of watching TV. And people will watch TV all day long on their phone. Are you driving somewhere? You don't want to be bored. You're not in the mood to listen to radio. Watch some YouTube videos. And you're listening to different stuff, podcasts or true crime. Are you doing dishes? Are you cooking breakfast? Are you cooking lunch? Are you cooking dinner? You're watching YouTube on your phone because what are you going to do? Stand there and be bored for 30 minutes while you're doing dishes? Fuck that. You doing laundry? You're going to watch. That's what I do, I watch YouTube all the time when I'm doing laundry, cooking food. Just play it. Got wireless headphones in. So those channels are favored because if you're uploading 3 times a day, especially political ones, for example, those people are making bank. They're getting rich off of that shit, because it's political. It's a fiery time in the political landscape. So their emotions are into it. So they're just, If I was just about the money right now, I should just say, fuck it. Start a political channel. I'll see you guys in the fucking what's something to say in 2 years. Let me go make a fucking mill quick. I'll be back. Just joking, but no, for real, you can make a lot of bread just doing stupid shit like that. But that's why it's not just YouTube. It's people want yada yada yada. But channels that upload just once a week, they have built their community up to where they're getting at least in the hundreds of thousands of views and up per video. And they kept that community. If I started and kept it more diverse from the very beginning, honestly, I probably wouldn't be in this rut right now. Because if I didn't focus on The Walking Dead, it was a few years there where it was almost only Walking Dead, and that was just kind of by accident because there's so much to cover. You're working on a Walking Dead video, you got 20 more planned. Even though I got thousands of videos, there's probably 500 more that I have partially done. I was cleaning up the other day and I found scripts for old videos that I didn't even do. I always had videos, 20 videos that were in the works technically that I wanted to get done or to do, but there was always something to do. Forget working on different stuff. But I should have diversified. That was my fault, and I knew it too. I should have diversified, but, I didn't. So maybe I am more to blame than YouTube, so I'll take that. I'm happy your channel will focus on other things, talk about what you're passionate about, what your videos are entertaining. I appreciate that. I just saw Stir Crazy, this old movie when I was younger. It had a guy who looked a lot like Kim Bundy who sang. Oh, really? Stir Crazy. I don't think I seen that. I have not watched Boba Fett, the Book of Boba Fett. I haven't seen it yet. William Dafoe was the goat in No Way Home. He made the Green Goblin dark and scary. He's a great actor, though. He's been a great actor for a while. You seen Brightburn? It's not too bad. Yeah, the only thing with Brightburn is I thought there would be more to it. We all knew it was kind of like this setup to the evil Superman. That's like the generic pitch. And it's interesting because you want to see a refreshing look at the character, but, let's see a spin on if he was evil. It was just a little too simple in that regard, where there wasn't a lot going on. Antlers, what annoyed me a little bit was in its simplicity as well. Some of those simple stories aren't all... Let me catch up to newer comments. They're not all that bad, but for Antlers, even though it's a very small town, sometimes it felt like there's literally no one else around. And I could have sworn they filmed that before COVID. COVID just delayed the post-production part of it and the release part of it. Because I think I saw that trailer before COVID even hit. I don't know. Maybe I'm mixing it up a little. But it felt like they couldn't film more people for some reason. It was skinny cast-wise. And that involves police and more official, in the official capacity, not just characters. Oh, you mean the Scream mask? Yeah, for me, the mask was a no-go. I don't get why steelbooks are big, but I have a few of them for stuff mostly by accident or sales. I'm not really sure. It has a more premium feel to it, but the reason I love them, though, is because most of the time, when it comes to steelbooks, you think of showcasing art. And unfortunately, when it comes to Blu-ray covers, you're supposed to think of art, but it gets real generic. It feels like the studios go, well, we already paid for the poster, so just throw the fucking poster on the box, which isn't a bad idea. I get why they do it, but I'll show you an example. Actually, I grabbed two examples real quick. Terrifier is an indie horror movie, right? Now, if they would have just done a simple poster, I don't even know what their poster was on the original Terrifier. They had a steelbook. They probably would have had some people cop it. Some hardcore fans want it on Blu-ray, but it's a steelbook. You got to do something special. What they did was they took this piece of art of literally Art the Clown. So you have him, some blood splatter, and it's embossed all the way around. It's got the name embossed, it's got him embossed, and it is fantastic, crisp. You don't have that stupid blue case. That's one thing is like, with Blu-rays, if I was wealthy, I would just buy 200 clear Blu-ray cases. I'm sorry, clear Blu-ray cases, and throw out all my old Blu-ray, because I hate with a passion that bar of blue on top. Anyhow, so in the back of it continues with the blood, and we have an iconic scene. So and this is a small example of art. It's a small little bit of an image of Art the Clown, and then we have this small artwork image of a scene, a gore-tastic scene from it. This is small art. Then you have something like this, which is, I thought, incredible. You get Night of the Living Dead, the remake. Now, you buy the regular movie, you're getting a really shitty cover. It is somebody back in the 90s doing Photoshop for the first time in their life. They took like a shitty picture of a house, and then there's a trail. And, I mean, it's okay for the time, but it's really shit. I mean, maybe if I even have a picture of it here. I'm being a little more mean. Dead series, Night of the Living Dead remake. Yeah. I think this is the cover. No, I think this is the, this is the remake cover. Because this isn't, okay, maybe I'll give them credit. That's actually nice. Let's look at Night of the Living Dead cover. Night of the Living Dead 1990 Blu-ray. Bam, bam. I misspelled the shit out of that. Okay, so here we go. Images. Here's the cover I'm thinking of. So you go to buy the Blu-ray, and you have this Night of the Living Dead. It's got a shitty eye. Do we have a better picture of that? Yeah, Night of the Living Dead, shitty eye. And we have this. Okay, I was a little mean. This artwork is nice. But again, look at this. So imagine they come out with a steelbook. So now it's got to be special. They got to focus on the art. Get rid of this shit Blu-ray case, this blue line on top. I just want to punch whoever came up with that idea right in the fucking face. Who wants a row of movies with a blue fucking case on top? Go fuck yourself, man. I don't know. That shit is so obnoxious. I hate it. And it's for every movie no matter what. Like, fuck off. Just make it clear. Or, here's an idea. Don't even do a top of plastic on there. What are you doing, bro? Anyway, as cheap as DVD cases look and feel nowadays, they just look art-wise so much better. So now I got this Night of the Living Dead Steelbook. It's a little too dark. However, the artwork, I think, is far improved. So you have, let me get this without a glare. So you got some zombies going on. You got zombies. There's a house back there. You got the main girl. You got Ben back there with the torch. You got some of the survivors in the basement. So you got this artwork. Man, on the back, you got a zombie here feasting away. Let me just pull up a picture. I'm pretty sure I had the picture on screen. Yeah, it's right here. Steelbook. Well, I was hoping they would have like an artistic. This is pretty cool. It came with a whole arm. I almost bought it, but it was like $150. And I was like, I'm not trying to spend that type of money this year. But yeah, here's the type of art that's on the Steelbook. It's just real shiny. That's the whole gimmick with Steelbooks. You get the movie, but you get it in a really artistic presentation. They look great, crisp, solid. I don't know. It's just something that can last. Now, the thing with me is if they go to something else like 4K, for example, let's say you have Terrifier or whatever movie and you want to upgrade it. The reason I love Steelbooks is because it's just the artwork that you fall in love with. If you upgrade it to 4K, 8K, whatever, 12K, whatever they come out with, you just throw your Blu-ray away, give it away to a friend, who cares? And then when you get the new, 4K, you put it in a Steelbook and bam, there you go. You got your movie with the better case. So for me, once I get the Steelbook of the movie, it's always going to stay that way. I'm not rebuying movies. Even if I did, I would just switch the discs out and keep the better case that I like. I would love to have a wall of all my favorite movies just in Steelbook, which is not going to happen because they don't make them all in Steelbook. Anyway, Chase Abel says, with a $5 dono, thank you very much. Ever think about doing a review for Hereditary or Midsommar? Crazy good cinematic and acting and horror in general. Hereditary, I agree, totally, up until the end. Not that I don't like it, it's just the type of movie, it's not for me, the very end. Again, it's still done well. It's hard to explain. It's kind of like, put it this way, ghosts, possessions. I can watch a movie that's done well, but it doesn't interest me. It doesn't scare me. It's just it's just something that happens. I can appreciate when it's done well, though. You know what I mean? Like, I can see Exorcist and appreciate why it became a classic. I just don't care, about possession movies and stuff. Midsommar is one that I might have to rewatch and be in a different state of mind. I think I've tried watching it twice now, and the first time I watched it, I was digging some of the weird shit. But then when it was over, I don't know. I just didn't care. It was one of those ones where so many people I know were going nuts for the movie, and when it was over, I just didn't care. I don't know what it is about that one. I can review it though, but they're down on the list just because I got a number of movies ahead of them. They changed the look and voice back to the original for season 3 of Scream with a new story. Tony Todd was in it. Clive Phillips said he loves writing broken characters and said Harrison is broken. Said he'd drop everything if Showtime wanted to continue. I think he's an idiot then. Is he the guy who wrote it? That just doesn't make any sense. I mean, from a character perspective, it's totally fine. From how you end a show, it's dumb. It's absolutely idiotic. Because here's the thing, you had a chance to not end it like that. Why would you free a character just to cage him up to do a spinoff? It doesn't make any sense, you know? Because it's like Terminator, doing that, continuing with Harrison is Terminator Dark Fate. What do I mean by that? We fucking love Terminator 2 is one of the greatest movies of all time. And it will always be. No matter fucking what. Even though it was restricted in its time for its ability to do what it can do with CGI, with computer graphics, it still did something so amazing that it will always be just an incredible movie. Terminator 1 and 2. But Terminator Dark Fate does something so abhorrent, it's blasphemy to the story and the characters. It does it in a way where if you accept Dark Fate, it totally fucking screws over Terminator 2 in a way that I refuse to accept. For me, Terminator 1, Terminator 2, Dark Fate doesn't even exist. Now, it's not that iconic, but to continue on with Harrison is similar in that it'll ruin what they ended on in the big way with the finale. So I just don't understand. But if they want to do it, fine. I'm not going to watch it, but if they want to do it, go for it. If you move them to a smaller channel, you lose a lot of views, or people are not quick to figure out where the figures are. Well, that's why I'm asking. I mean, because to be honest, figure reviews are doing fan-fucking amazing over at Ronnie Hayes. We barely do anything over there, and Ronnie Hayes makes almost as much money as Make a Path Presents. I think Make a Path Presents makes $150 a month in ad revenue. Ronnie Hayes, we review an action figure once every, fucking month, and it makes $50 a month all the time. So, I mean, in all reality, I might as well just say, well, it's been on and popping, but goodbye, shut down MAP and just do Ronnie Hayes. In all reality, I honestly probably should have done that while I was ending The Walking Dead and just thrown Flaw vs. All on the Ronnie Hayes channel. I'll be real with you. I don't even want to admit it, but there's a sad part of me that thinks that channel would be on and popping, because those videos wouldn't be fighting each other for views. They would be getting them and getting more, getting promoted, and YouTube will see it and be like, that's doing good. Here. Dude, I fucked that up, I think. I should have done something different. There's a spam bot. All right, hold on. Let me look. I've never heard you mention it, but have you ever thought about playing games on Twitch? I don't want to do gaming though. Here's the thing is, let me look for the spam bot though. What's the name of the spam bot so I can find it? Because I don't see a spam unless this PST. I thought you were writing real stuff though. Let me look. Oh, this right here. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. Remove, put users in timeout, hide user on this channel. Let me know if they spam other shit. What was I saying though? Yeah, here's the thing is I'm not trying to do YouTube just to do YouTube. Meaning, well, now that The Walking Dead's not there, I want to do something, so let me try being a Twitch gamer, I don't mind hanging out with a community I've already built and kick back and play some games. That's fine, but I don't want to be a Twitch gamer, you know what I'm saying, or a YouTube gamer or anything like that. I don't want to be a gaming streamer. My thing is I love breaking down movies, whether it's looking at any aspect of movies, whether I got to tweak the process or tweak the structure. If I didn't receive so much positive feedback from the Flaw vs. All videos, I would have just given up already. Because like I said, they are if I took the editing I put into Flaw vs. All and I did it for a job, I'd probably be making a fuck ton of money right now, just because there's that much editing involved in it. Now, I want to continue that on, continue doing the videos I'm passionate about. I have other stuff work-wise where that's where my focus is to make the money for what I'm doing, for the future and yada, yada, yada. But this, I just want it to sustain itself at the very least, and then I'm good to go. Like if the YouTube can sustain itself to do the editing, then I'm on and popping with it. And the reason why I bring up examples of a monthly figure is just to be as an example. And also, I know coming up, I have to replace the something within this computer. Just for the high-def videos, doing the editing, big videos, 20, 30 minutes. I can't see the preview screen in the editor because it just glitches so much. And it's only because the files are so big. Man, I can't wait to read Doomsday Kingdom issue 6. I'm already knowing it'll be worth the wait. So does this mean the ball is rolling now for the next issue releases? Do you mean issue 7 to follow? That's the plan. Or do you mean like restocking? Because our big thing is we want to focus on... we have some surprises in the works. We were working on some different type of merch stuff. So there will be things that will seem like they just pop out of nowhere. But that's because we were working on them for a long time. So you will see stuff that'll pop up. But our hope is to focus heavily on keeping the website stocked until we run out of the print runs of all the issues. For a minute there, I was like, man, we really took way too long of a break. And then I went back and checked my notes, and I was like, oh yeah, our printer was out of commission they shut down for COVID for a few months. And then for 3 months, they didn't have paper. There was like a paper shortage. I have in my notes for the paper shortage. And I'm thinking like, yeah, I knew there was other reasons besides just not doing shit, because did have a number of reasons why things weren't on and popping, but there were some other things that were out of our control. But hopefully now everyone's back in the game, and we can get that out, go on to 7, go on to 8, 9, and then when we do 10, we can do volume number 2, which if you can get volume 1 to 5, volume 2 would be 6 to 10. And the storyline, I think, that's where it gets a lot more fun. And I love it. I even looked back through it. I have my book upstairs. But I was comparing it to other comics that cheat the background. If you look at Doomsday Kingdom, in the background you can see... I was even talking to the artist about this the other day. He spends an incredible amount of time fleshing out detailed backgrounds. If it's a city, you're getting a city. If it's this, you're getting this. Trees, woods, whatever it is, that the backgrounds, even in bars. If you look at a lot of The Walking Dead, for example, the background will be just like nothing. And that's because what they're doing is they're angling it at a character, sometimes upwards, and it'll be just the sky. And since it's black and white, it's just a white background. And it's just a bunch of talking heads. That's a way to cheat the artwork, to not have to draw as much. So then you get your power pages where everything is detailed. And that's why you turn to them, and it's such like a, whoa. Well, if you look through Doomsday Kingdom, and that's one thing we're proud of, is even though there are smaller panels or talking heads, like everything's detailed. The house, the wall, there's pictures on the wall, the banister, the steps, everything has detail in it. We are going to play around with adding some more panels in there that are more simplified with the backgrounds, but keep that detail moving on, and hopefully we'll get to parts of the story that are going to be like little mini, really fun. What's a good way to put it without wording it wrong? little mini stories within the main story. You know, that'll be really fun to do, because then you got your subtitles, but your taglines, you know what I'm saying, where you can start kicking out certain taglines. You'll know when we get to it, but it'll be fun. But I'm really proud with 6, and I can't wait to wrap it up and move on to 7. That is a nice steelbook. Damn. Yeah, I like it too. I noticed DVD cases are bigger and wider too. I don't think DVD cases are wider. I don't know how you mean that. Do you mean that like the spine, or do you mean that like the actual width? Because I think they're the same width. Maybe slightly wider. I mean, I have DVDs next to my... are they wider? The plastic ones look like they're the same width, but I do have some of those really old DVDs with the tabs. They're poking out a little more. Maybe they are a little wider. Some of them, I got DVDs with so many different case styles, it's hard to see. One thing I hate is Echo Blu-ray cases. Why Echo? I got Ash vs. Evil Dead on Steelbook. I passed on Transformers. I have that. Is that chainsaw? I got Season 3 of Ash vs. Evil Dead on Steelbook. So cheaper. I think one of the best Steelbooks for The Walking Dead is like Season 8 or something. If you send me the Blu-rays when you get 4Ks, that would be a rock on. Yeah. There's a real-life ghost story movie I saw in the 70s. Been a true story. A poltergeist forced a woman to have intercourse. Hauling her down. Yeah, I heard about that story too. I couldn't watch horror movies as a kid, but recently started watching them. Started with Exorcism of Emily Rose, The Rite, and the Conjuring trilogy. Alright, do you believe in paranormal or spiritual realm? Watching a show like Supernatural opened my eyes a lot to real life cases. I don't believe in the paranormal at all. I know I've had a lot of friends. I used to work in a mansion that they said was haunted. I have some fucking fantastic stories. I've talked about this before. One guy, big guy, was terrified because he swears up and down he saw a ghost. We saw some creepy stuff, like real quick, 2 creepy things that happened is we were younger, so I was like 14, my brother was 15, so we worked in what we call the dungeon. It was a really rich family that would hire kids from youth groups to work underage, so we worked in the basement. We called it the dungeon. You had to go down the steps into the kitchen, and there was like this... it's just like, imagine a basement where you finish it enough to throw, a long metal sink with some deep, so you can scrub pots and pans. And that's all you did. You scrubbed pots and pans because they made food for weddings. So the big soups and the big meals that got all cooked and baked and yada, yada, yada. So we had to do all the pots and pans, and there was a ton of them every night. Now, there was right from that dungeon area, there was a long hallway. There was storage to the left and a long hallway that was like a creepy mansion type of low lighting with, the rugs, the red rugs that they have, the maroon walls with some pictures. And then it actually broke into turned into a lounge room, pool table, mini bar. And then there was wine to the right, past there, a wine cellar. Well, it was a mansion with frosted windows in front of us, but it was frosted and black all the time because there was nothing on the other side of it. Well, one time me and my brother were doing the dishes, scrubbing pots and pans, just bored to death. I wish we had YouTube back then, man. That'd be fucking so much better. Imagine washing dishes for 8-9 hours, just scrubbing pots and pans. Our hands constantly bled. We left work just around your fingers. I mean, it was so bad at times you'd have to wrap them just so you wouldn't rub any more flesh off your fingers. It fucking sucked. Anyway, so the hallway constantly would have the fancy waiters coming to get wine. So we're scrubbing dishes and bored out of our mind, and we hear whistling coming up the hallway, starting all the way. But getting louder as they're walking up to us. And they're about to turn the corner, and me and my brother kind of turn over because we usually shot a little, hey, how's it going? How's the night? Is it anything interesting going on? And just as the whistling gets to right where the person's going to turn the corner. There's nothing. And me and my brother both stop because we expected like to hear, oh shit, this is the wrong wine or something. But there was just nothing. And we chuckled, and my brother's like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, I don't know. Is he like playing around? So I look around the corner, and I'm like, well, that's fucking weird. And he's like, what? Like, the lights are off. It's dark as shit. No one's even down here with us, you know? And I remember my brother being like, oh, fuck that, man. Fuck that. What do you mean, you know? And we looked. We turned the lights on, walked down, and sure enough, there's no one down there. No one fucking around, no one hiding. But I swear to God, I don't believe in ghosts, but I swear on everything I love, somebody was whistling coming up that fucking hall. I don't know what really happened, but that shit was wild. And then another time, like I said, that window behind us, lights were turning on. And we couldn't figure it out because we've been working there for a long time now, months, a year maybe. And those lights never came on. And we were so like, that's crazy because we know the outline of the house. There's no room there. It's just, there's nothing there. And we asked one of the guys who's been there for decades. And he's like, yeah, there's a room in there, but it's blocked off because the person killed themselves, and they blocked that off. There's room upstairs that's blocked off too. Someone killed themselves or some shit like that. And I think it was a young kid too did it. So anyway, well, we were like, well, why is the wiring still on? Because the light turned on. And they were like, listen, we've been here 20 years. You can't turn the lights on. It's a gutted room. It's sealed, concrete sealed. I mean, it's like an empty, just nothing. There's no even bulbs in there. What the fuck are you talking about? The guy didn't believe us. But me and my brother saw it. It was a light turning on. It was like flickering. So something like that, I think, could easily be explained by they fucked up wiring and there was lights in there and some light switch. There's probably some kid in another part of the mansion because it was a legit mansion. We used to walk around and joke because this was when Resident Evil came out for the video game for the first time. Like Resident Evil, a new, franchise, and the game, not the stupid movie. And it was just like, man, look at the mansion, this is creepy as shit. With the one big guy, terrified of ghosts. We were carrying the old Christmas decorations up, and it was the end of the holiday, and we were shutting down the seasonal and getting rid of the decorations. So there's only a few of us. We're snowed in, right atmosphere. There's a skeleton crew working in this creepy mansion. And, me and Matt carrying this big box. And I knew he was terrified of ghosts. And we're up in the top where there's supposed to be a little ghost girl. Where the story was somebody seen a little girl walking around. And they came and got Matt, and they were like, bro, this is an adult wedding, no kids allowed. What's this kid doing here? And he was like, one of the fancy waiters, he was like, oh my God, I mean, we didn't allow any kids in. Hold on, let me see. Maybe it's a family member of the owner. I don't know. So he sees the little girl, and she books for it upstairs. Now, it's a living mansion with a reception downstairs. So it's actually the rich people's house upstairs. It's a real house. So he goes upstairs, and he's going all around, and he sends someone downstairs to ask, like, who brought a little fucking girl here? And no one brought a kid. He swears up and down he saw her leave the reception hall and run upstairs, and he's up there looking for her. And he's in a dark room, gets this real cold draft, he says, and they run up to him and they said, yo, you idiot. We asked around everybody. No one brought a kid here. This is an adult wedding. There's no children here. What type of shit are you trying to pull? And the dude left, and the guy telling me the story was like, yo, fuck. He almost shit himself, and he said he will not go upstairs without anyone. And he never did. He was legit terrified. So he shouldn't have told me that, or someone else told me that story, because here I am. I'm like 15. I don't give a fuck about ghosts. I'm upstairs carrying this big box. He's backing up, going into this dark room, one of the storage rooms up by like the top of the attic. And I real quick did one of these instead of playing it like I don't know. You ever see someone try to scare someone and you know right away they're over the top? I just suddenly was like all bored, and then I just stopped and I went like this. Immediately he stood up and he was like, dude, what? And I was like, who the fuck is up here with us? I thought we were the only ones. And he dropped the box and legit was like, what do you mean? I was like, someone was peeking at me and they just darted back around the corner. What? Who is it? Michelle, who's up here fucking with us, right? He turned white as a ghost. I shit you not. Leapt over the box, like pushed me against the wall. He was fucking out before I can even utter a laugh. It was the funniest shit ever, but he was so scared. You know when they say like they turned white as a ghost, and you think it's just an expression, but I swear to you, this dude legit was like Hispanic guy too. So it's not like a pale ass white guy to begin with. You know, he turned whiter than me, and he was fucking out. I'm talking leapt over a Christmas tree box in a box. He was gone. He was down the steps. I turned the corner to yell down to the steps. I'm joking. He wasn't even there anymore. He turned ghost him damn self. But that was one of the most memorable moments because I've never seen someone more scared in my life. Oh, Lord have mercy. That shit was fucking hilarious. Do I have any breakup advice? Sure. Whether you're a guy or girl, you just went through something that was a positive disguised as a negative. You know, it's going to get better from here on out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the best way to look at it. I don't think there's one person in my life where it was like, there's people that, I'm still friends with, even that I dated, and we're still good friends. So it's not like they're terrible people. It's just sometimes people, the relationship wise, it's just not meant to be romantic, you know? I call it a win, at least the best thing to do. The only time you should be sad is when years start going by. If you're dating for 20 years, yeah, cry a while, mourn a while, because you're going to have a lot of good times, but you also wasted a lot of time, You could have been, whether you're a guy or girl, you could have been banging a whole lot of other guys and girls, but you didn't. Imagine how many females, or if you're a female or, well, it doesn't matter, but imagine how much of the gender you want to bang that you passed up on because you were already taken, but now it's been like 10 years and you're splitting up and you're like, damn, man, I could have tore through something. Take a moment, be by yourself, and just tear through the city, Go slow. You don't have to bang something every night, because a lot of guys will pretend, but they can't, They're not going to pull that shit. Do you have any, especially nowadays, female, you younger guys, I feel sorry for y'all motherfuckers, yo. You gotta sign consent forms and shit. Like, what the fuck is that shit? I've never had a woman ever, where it was like, I'm not sure if she wants me to kiss her. I don't even understand how you're even in that situation. I've never in my life once, been in a situation where it was like, I'm unsure. No, it's always... Anyway, Scream 2 spoiler. Did you think it was a mistake to kill Randy in Scream 2? Yeah, I felt like it was the we have to do something like this in the sequel for people to take a serious type of mistake. His death should have came. I just don't know if it should have came how it did and when it did. I think a season 3 probably would have been best for him. Kept it feeling like they were all gold, and then do it like something, I mean, wasn't it Cotton in the beginning too? So that would have been perfect, because he already felt like he was there since the first. He had more in the second, dies in the third to start it off. Boom. And then later, Randy gets it as well. Holy fuck, they're gonna kill them all, And who's gonna get it next? So 2 should have had a better fleshed out characters and killed somebody in his place, I bet. No, I'm missing. Yep, since Flaws and Aws aren't doing too well on this channel, I tried one on the other channel just to see how it goes. I already tested one on the other channel, and it's pretty much what I would expect. Slow going at first with that smaller audience. It's testing it over a long period of time, frequent uploads. The problem is, if I do that, I have to take them off of this channel. You can't upload the same content on multiple channels because one of the channels will get taken down just because YouTube is trying to keep it clean of not having the same shit everywhere. So I did a test run and it did get the same or more maybe. Like, for example, when Joker came out, I think it got like 1,000 views on this channel. And I put it on Ronnie Hayes, and in less time it had like 2,000 views or 1,000 views, some shit like that. Now it's up to like 7,000, but still, back then I should have just pulled everything from this and started over there. But I'm going to give it the first 6 months of this year, and we're only doing Flaw vs. All for the main edited uploads. And we have some smaller, like I said before, talking about Antlers as a mini movie review, and Dexter's season finale, Scream when it comes out. And we're going to see how that goes, because then I could bounce around with advertising to newer people and give them, because before I would get new people to watch a movie review, and then I would say, I also review The Walking Dead. No one gives a fuck, because when they're there for the movie, they don't give a fuck about The Walking Dead. But if they're into the horror movies, and then I say, hey, I have a back catalog of old horror movies, and I'm talking about analytics, not guessing. I can see people are going over there. Like when I look at my old analytics, I always knew that was a problem. The Walking Dead group, for whatever reason, too, the great majority, 90% of them, never watched the non-Walking Dead content. And then when it came to the movie people, never watched the Walking Dead content, because you can see the click over, what is it called? Where they're going from this to that. And you can see these click-overs from movie to movie to movie to movie, but it's rare to get movie to The Walking Dead to the movie. It's just, I don't know what it was. Did you watch Yellow Jackets on Showtime? Aired after Dexter, like a female Lord of the Flies. Girls turn to cannibalism. I saw the trailer, but I didn't watch it, no. I got you. I just meant like your shit a lot. I feel like everybody I love here being forced to do other stuff work-wise because YouTube screws them because they... Yeah, I feel what you were trying to say. It's just, I think there's some truth to that, but there's also additional things that are playing into it. I did a thing about my worst experience seeing a floating head. That was scary at the time. Still is. Think about, wait, what? What the fuck? I thought I went crazy once hearing chanting, the eerie noise, hard to explain, ungodly. It was a cat in the hat. In the heat, though? Oh, a cat in heat. I might check out some type of recap thing with Yellow Jackets. Maybe if I need something to watch, I'll check it out and see if I like it. Got you, thanks. Oh, I hear Ozark is starting too. The season 4, part 1. That's at the end of January. I'm excited for that. What time is it? Oh, fuck, man. I gotta shut this down soon. I'm still afraid to get into the basement. So, yeah, I hear that. Been wanting something new to check out, so thank you. I've been watching the action spy comedy series Chuck. Recently watched a video on YouTube named Real Life Exorcism. Describes his most haunting experience. Bro, I swear it convinced me that stuff is real. See, now, if we would have saw clips of it, I'd be a little more believable, but just hearing someone's experience, I hear what you're saying, but I'm just hard to convince. Ronnie should start a channel about life stories, or at least a segment of some of them, right? I've seen someone so sick from a breakup, he kept throwing up, had a fever, shivering, randomly crying, then got back together later in the day, and he was completely fine. I don't know about all that. That sounds like he was going through withdrawal. Like a chemical withdrawal, not like a relationship thing. Maybe it was so bad psychologically. But if I was them, I would immediately break up and seek help. That's terrible for another person to have that much control over your life. I would put me first and immediately seek help. That's pretty bad. That's a level of dependency that is crippling, and that's insane. I would never want that. What are your opinion on the Evil Dead franchise? I watched them last year and loved it. TV show is also great. Evil Dead franchise is one of those where I really do enjoy it, but not all the time. I don't know how to say it other than that. Here's the thing is, comedy is like the last thing I watch. You know, I'll watch comedy, but I watch it the least, and I always watch it last. So Evil Dead has the horror, and I do like horror comedies, but it's also what I pick last and the least. But I have had enjoyable times rewatching Evil Dead, going and seeing the reboot in theaters. Even the TV show, I bought the season on Blu-ray and I sat down. I enjoyed watching it, but at the end of it, I was take it or leave it. Season 2, yeah, sure. I never even got around to watching season 2 to be honest. I don't know. It's when there's too much comedy, or when the comedy overtakes the real tension, it loses me. I just feel like there's no point. Even when characters die, nothing matters. So Evil Dead is one of those, like, it's fun. I don't know, when I'm watching with friends, that type of, like, going out watching it with friends, but I rarely pick it up myself and watch it. Did you tell us one time about being in a warehouse where something creepy happened to you? Yeah, I had a warehouse job where there was automatic lights. That might have been the time. It was just lights that turn on. It could have been a number of different stories. I worked in a warehouse for a few years. Do you think we'll ever get some funny comedy movies again? Yeah, eventually, sure. I think indie movies are going to make a big impact coming up, because you can see Hollywood kind of putting themselves in a box that's hurting them. Not hurting them financially, but they're not making as much as they could have. So indies can start coming out and filling that void. You know what I mean? Like, you want just an offensive, fucking the gloves are off. You don't have to worry about it. Just here's a raw, gritty movie with whatever in it. You make something that looks good, sounds good, well acted. It'll fucking explode, even if it's indie. That word of mouth will take it, and then boom. Look how Terrifier, and I'm going to be honest, look how well Terrifier did. This was a character that blew up because visually the clown was creepy. That's fucking it. They had an ultra creepy looking character to start. He was a character in an anthology series where he had a 15-minute role, and he was so creepy, people were like, nah, we want more of that, creepy with some gore. So then they did, I think they did another project with that character? Something like that. There was like a short with him, and then there was the anthology, and then the short, something like that. But the point is, it became the movie Terrifier, which has such a plot so simple. It's just people waiting for a ride because they have a flat tire. That's the entire plot. It doesn't develop. It's literally they get pizza, they go to their car, there's a flat tire. What happens from that point on is literally just a creepy clown, a secluded, dark, damp, creepy-ish location, and gore out the ass. The acting is wildly terrible the whole way through. I don't think there might not be one good actor in that movie. I mean, maybe there is. There might have been like a small part where it's like, oh, that's okay. But the leads are just terrible. I mean, insanely bad. It doesn't mean they're always going to be bad. It just means, like, whatever the fuck you did then, don't ever do that again. I mean, Take a few more classes, put yourself in check, get yourself in the zone. Just don't ever do that again. This blew up enough to where they have dolls of the figure. They have part 2 coming out, and that's with shit acting. Because they didn't care if the gore offended people. They didn't care if objectifying the leads offended people. Again, they don't go overboard with it either. That's not a movie that's like, we're going to, go attack the woke. That's not at all what they did either. They just said, you know what? You like creepy looking villains that are just to look at in a cool way. And you want just gore and the final girl. That's it. I just said this to someone today. You have the killer gore, and the killer babes. You get that, and you're gold. You do that with good acting, solid cinematography, and you rent a nice camera so it looks and sounds good. Bro, you got it made. Trick or Treat movie's not bad at all. No, I like Trick or Treat. I think that was done better acting wise. It's a trillion times better than Terrifier. Plot wise, it's a million times better than Terrifier. Story wise, but as far as like focusing on like that single, that's where they get it, because that's an anthology that's connected, and it has Sam is my favorite, obviously, but it has other stuff in it mixed in there. Didn't even think about Flaws for results early on in Tech Channel, and then okay, it took me a bit to get into that, maybe. Oh, I gotcha. You were rooting for the Woods to so they would starve to death? Is that what you're saying? If you could give an estimate about how much more years of decay until we get to the ending, assuming production and everything is steady. Well, I think the total estimate was it would take 10. The current story at 100 issues would take around 10 years. I think that's the estimate. But again, that's a loose estimate that can be off because of how the story is outlined. And again, that's the absolute max. I mean, you never know if we picked up speed and we started cranking it out. Maybe, 7 years-ish, 7 solid years of consistently releasing Doomsday Kingdom. It's a long story. There's no way around it. I could give you a more simplified one, but it'll be in segments. It'll always have that long story just because of the story it's telling. But it'll have that over a period of time. And again, that's if we get released. It doesn't just have a smaller, but you could look at it if you just wanted like, well, I want something a little smaller. I can tell you from that, the first 4 volumes, you could look at it as its own thing, and it's up to you to keep going or not if you wanted just something smaller. To be fair, I didn't freak out until the floating head a noise started to come out. I don't know about all that. It's nuts. Yellow Jackets blew up on Reddit. People theorizing about this and that. It's been fun going in. Haven't had a show like that since Lost. Oh, gotcha. Happy Death Day was all right, but the sequel was not great. Well, I think the problem with the sequel is they had to go ahead and over-explain, and then they had to add. When you do a sequel, you always need to add that extra oomph, I was even talking again recently to somebody about, because I think we need more with indie horror. We need like a resurgence with good indie horror. But I was just talking to someone today about introducing one movie that has a simple story. I'm even writing like a little spec script. And you guys will see some of the script come out as a little test run. Maybe we'll get somebody to read it like a little audio book. And it's a simplified story. And then the sequel will flesh out the backstory and give you a little bit more of a complex plot. And I feel like that works tremendously well. You don't need to add in all this, there's time travel machines and all. You know what I mean? You don't have to get that Like with Scream. Oh, there's a voice changer that can mimic every single... You don't have to get that ridiculous with it. Thoughts on Unearthed Films American Guinea Pig series? I haven't... that sounds familiar, but I don't... I've never seen it. It sounds familiar, though. Trick or Treat movie is not that bad with Hannah. Do you have any advice for someone that wants to be more social? I get so afraid, but I just want to start having fun with life. I mean, I think partly you have to identify why you're afraid. Are you afraid people are going to make fun of you? You know, are you afraid? I mean, what's the worst that can happen? People aren't normally. Look, you're going to run into assholes, but people aren't normally assholes. They just want someone to read the room. Like if a girl isn't interested or if someone's not feeling it, they're having a bad day, just learn to read people. Sometimes people are dying for someone to break the ice. You know, I don't think it will hurt anything if you start little by little saying something more, and you could practice every day without even practicing. Say a couple extra lines when you're at the grocery store shooting the shit, you know? Capitalize on those moments where it's easier to just talk, you know? Or where it'll be better practice for you to just talk. There's some times where, you know, I've been like, I don't really want to talk to someone, but for the most part, I could talk to just about anybody. I think I hit a certain point where it's like, I don't give a fuck. Just start a conversation with anyone, you know? I mean, just do it. Once you I don't know how to put it into words, but once you realize every single conversation, people aren't expecting you to be on a stage and say something grand. You're just shooting the shit, you know? And if it's not hitting right, end it and then move on and shoot the shit with someone else. If the leaks are true for the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, sounds terrible. I've heard there's going to be some terrible shit, man. But you know what has me nervous? The trailer. Why? Because it shows so little of anything of substance, but then it has like a real cool shot of him holding the skin face up. That leaves me like, okay, that's cool. But when you're showing the actors, it's like super quick images, and it's more than just a teaser. With a teaser, they're teasing you with something, but not giving you a lot. Like this is more like they're teasing you by hiding bad acting because you see the actors, but it's a split second and they're all like, you know, it has me a little worried it's going to be shit. I could give Maya for killing the dog. She was possessed, but I just thought she was bland. It'll be really hard to do another Evil Dead just because Bruce Campbell was so iconic with Ash. You're never going to copy him. So it's going to be damn near impossible unless you put a really... you have to find the right casting. You have to get someone who's not going to mimic or be a generic Bruce Campbell, but someone who has an equal type of charisma and charm, but do it in a different way where you can still respect Bruce Campbell's performance as Ash. You have this new performance as Ash that you really enjoy, and at no point in time does it feel like he's just trying to be Bruce Campbell's Ash. You know what I'm saying? Then it can work. But the casting with the charisma is crucial. You can't just cast anybody for that one. You remember a story where a metal pierced your arm at a warehouse job? Yeah, that wasn't a horror story. That was actually just a true life story. You probably got the light blocking it, but damn, where's it at? Come on, that light's gonna fuck it up. Right here, I got a scar somewhere. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right here. It looks a little smaller, actually. Oh, no. It's a lot wider. You just can't see the faded, where it gets real thin, like right down here. But it's right, this thick part right here that I showed you. I hope you can see it. piece of thin sheet metal. I was running a CNC turret. Anyone knows it's a die punch. It's like this. And then a sheet of metal comes across and it's punching slots or holes or designs out. And then you bend them and you can turn them into vending machines, car parts, shit like that. That's how you get the casing around your tower for your computer. We made some of those, for example. So you have your metal frame. I would take that thin metal and then punch out the shape, There'd be like 10 of them on a sheet. And then I would send the punched out parts to the guy on the brake press or press brake. And he would put it in, bend it into a box shape. And there you go. That's how you got the frame of your computer tower vending machine. Well, one of the dies or punches, it broke. It just was used so much. And when it went in and broke, it stuck and pulled the metal. And it's on these big machines that are like 2 tons, 3 tons of pressure with little tiny clamps that are just going as it's punching it out. And the end, because it got snagged, the end of the sheet just swung out. As I was doing my checks with a clipboard, I was walking like this, and you hear it instantly when you're a CNC operator. You hear the snag, the sheet's pulling. I got to go this way and to the left to get it shut down, or that sheet's going to go wild. But as soon as I heard that snag, I saw the sheet coming out, and I knew it was a wrap. It was coming right for me. I was like right in the fucking, so I just put my arm up, and I was kind of just protecting my chest because it's thin stainless steel. So it's literally like a kitchen knife, a giant sheet of a kitchen knife. And luckily, it just caught my arm a few inches and stopped and went back the other way. So it was just enough. If I didn't lift my arm in time, it would have cut my chest, but it probably wouldn't have went past my rib cage, to be honest, because it had just caught me. But I did jump back too at the same time, and it stuck me. I felt it. The corner of the sheet, when it stuck me, I felt it like pull out. That was not pleasant. I looked down, and as soon as I did, there was just this this weird sponge-looking pale opening in my arm, and it was like, you ever see, how the best way I can describe it is, like cottage cheese, but imagine it not as liquidy and blood soaking up in a sponge. It was like your skin, you can see the pores start flooding with blood. That's how it looked. That's the best way I can explain it. It was deep. It was deep. And once it did that, it was just this explosion of blood. Now, mind you, it sliced me open, and I looked down within a fraction of a second. So it was neat seeing like just open muscle, fat, whatever the skin, flesh. And then I pinched my arm closed real tight. And I just looked up and I went, fuck, with 10 minutes till my shift is over. This sucks, because when you get injured in the factory, you can't drive yourself. It's mandatory. They make someone else drive you. So I'm like, fuck this. And I think Sammy was my boss at the time. I was like, no, fuck this. I'm driving myself. Let me shut the machine down. Give me duct tape and some super glue, and I'll just fuck this. Fuck all this. I look down and he's screaming, you are not driving yourself to work or to the hospital to get stitches. I looked down and I was like, oh, that's bad. It was just like a horror movie, just a puddle of blood, that quick. I was like, well, shit. But that was it. It was so deep. I didn't feel it but a pinch, There was more prolonged pain when they cleaned it. I went to the emergency room and I'm leaking, and I got it wrapped up, and it's like soaked up with blood, and they were like, oh, sit down. So I'm sitting there for a while, and it was at midnight, so I must have been there around 1 maybe ish when I said, listen, I'm bleeding all over your emergency room. Can you just give me a sheet, anything, just to fucking sop some of this blood up? They took me in and sat me in the hallway. They had something going on. I didn't even get a room. I was in the hallway. and they took the bandage off. They rinsed it out, sprayed it out, and cleaned it up, and then taped it. And I sat there for 2 more hours. And then they said, okay, come on back. And they got me in, cut the bandage back off, stitched it up, and that was it. And then I went back later, and they cut the stitches, and it tickled. They pulled the stitching out, and that was it. Done deal. I think I still have like old pictures. I wonder if I could find old pictures of... No, that'd be on my other hard drive. Fuck. I'll have to find them sometime. But I have old pictures of after it got stitched. It's kind of blurry because it was an old picture message I sent to someone. I was like, hey, I got hurt. I can't come over after work. And I sent them a picture. I was like, yeah, I got cut. So I'll have to blow your back out next week, babe. I forget if it was a girl I was talking to or just a friend. I don't remember. But I wasn't able to make it. Apparently, if it's true... Okay. Wait. Apparently, if it's true, there's a scene where Leatherface kills people and it's live streamed. That makes me nervous where Hollywood does stuff with the modern, age, because they don't usually do it well. Dexter is a good example. They have a podcaster, and she fits... because of the time we're in. And I watch true crime YouTubers, and I think it's a great idea including them. However, they make her like, what if Hollywood were to become podcasters? They're that type of fake. Everything's fake. They're all like, you guys won't believe what I found. They're like the Valley Girl pod. Is that a good way to put it? Like, he was the Bay Harbor butcher, and girlfriend, he will fuck you up. And you're not going to believe this, but he found this girl and he cut her open. Like a lot of true crime people, a lot of them have tact. They know they're talking about real lives being destroyed. The victim's friends, the victim's family, so they have a level of tact. They're not sitting here like, yeah, he got her drunk and then ripped her clothes off and he ripped her guts out of her ass. Like, they're not going to be all like dramatic with it. So there's nothing wrong with it, because a lot of YouTubers have the whole dramatic intro, fine, whatever. But the way she did her podcast was just Hollywood fake. It was just so fake. Same thing with Halloween H2O? No. Halloween Resurrection. Busta Rhymes, they are terrible with Wrong Kill when they're doing the streaming. They're terrible when they're trying to show you modern tech. They just don't do it well. I'm afraid they're going to do that with more and more movies. Like, just do real shitty modern day tech. Scream did it great. Got a little camera, got a 30-second delay. We can showcase it. Don't do too much with it. But they keep it relevant. They keep it light. They keep the tech down to earth. We can understand how it works. It has some problems. I mean, they don't sit here and be like, look at this fancy little, this is how it works. Oh, it's got this antenna. I don't know. They just don't go ridiculous with it. They put it there. They even have Randy. He's kind of like not in frame answering the phone. They just did it really, really well. Yeah, please hit that like button. Last few comments to wrap this up. Most people will act nicer when they first meet someone too. Yeah, that's true. Thanks for the advice, everyone. No problem, brother. Yeah, and another thing real quick, though, is like some people are just unsure of what to talk about. It's okay to be like, yeah, I've never seen that movie. Or I have no idea what you're talking about, Someone talking about rock climbing or rappelling. I was talking about this girl, and, this chick, I made a cute little thing, too. I made a joke about rappelling. I forget what the joke was, but I remember little moments like that, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue what rappelling means. Don't be awkward about not knowing what something means, or even people like to talk. They like to have someone listen to them. So just learn. Greet people. They love that. Say their name. Love it. smile when you meet them, they'll be eating out of the palm of your hand. Same thing with, if you don't know something like rock rappelling, or I forget what the fuck it was. It was something like that. It's where you do the rock climbing, but you do rappelling, where you put your gear on and you kick off the face. Well, this chick taught me how to rappel off a rock, and I didn't know what the fuck she was talking about, so I was like, I have no clue. I have no idea, you know? And then she was into it, describing it, telling me, teaching me, and it was great. I had another female taught me how to shuffle when I was younger. We were on a bus, and we were playing cards, and I was like, you know what? I've never learned how to shuffle. You do that great. You're so smooth with it. Gave her a compliment. First thing she did was sit right here. She spent an hour just teaching me how to shuffle. You know what I mean? Just, you got to be with it. You got to be secure and confident enough to just be like, yeah. And then you hear people joking around, goofing off. Don't immediately think they're making fun of you. Just try to understand the room, and they could be making a joke about here. That could be an inside joke, and it has nothing to do with you. You just got to learn to take it easy. You insecure about anything in general, Gregory? Oh, you guys are talking to each other. Have you seen the Chucky TV show? I've seen some of it, but I gave up on it. A lot of people have off-putting personality. If you have an off-putting personality, I mean, it really depends, but I've met some people that were coarse to be around. Now, the way you talk, it makes it sound like you have social anxiety, like you're afraid to conversate, or you're not good with it, so you don't talk as much. That's fine. But if you're an off-putting, and this goes out to anybody, I've met a few people that just could not read the fucking room. When people are just, they don't want to deal with your shit. You're always poking, prodding, pushing, like, come on, do this, You ever see those friends that are always like, if they're in the mood to drink, they're constantly like, drink up, have a drink faster, drink this, drink that, no, drink this, drink my dick, drink my piss. It's like, bro, calm the fuck down. I've had a few friends like that over the time where if they were drinking, they were smoking some weed, it was immediately like, no, here, come on, you got to do it too. And it's like, bro, I don't know why you're wired like that, but calm down. I'm chilling with you. I'm having a drink. I'm going to smoke later probably, but now I'm not going to smoke because you won't get it the fuck out of my face. I don't know why you're doing that. I mean, when I had some weed and, I wasn't mad if someone didn't want to smoke. I got more weed for later. I'm not going to say like, no, come on, bro. Smoke right now. Take a puff. No, you didn't take a big enough puff. Take another puff. It's like, you'll find people wired like that. If you're like that, recognize it now, correct it, and you'll be better in the future. Or if you, like I said, you find your own flaws, and you'll be better off in the future for it. It's good to find your flaws, because then you have things to work on. And you can fix them for later. There are channels that do makeup stuff while doing crime stories. It's freaking weird. Yo, I've heard of that, but I don't watch them. I don't think I can fucking deal with that. I've heard or seen of other stuff, like people cooking and then talking about something, you know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I've seen like shorts, I should say. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, where someone is like, now listen, this guy, he went to the beach, and I'm sitting here thinking, where did that start? Who does this? Who comes up with this shit? Who? Like if I want to hear a true crime story, I want you to put some pictures of the victim. No, I want you to put some pictures of the victim. No, of anything. The killer, the mugshot, the location, case files, fucking whatever there is. News footage, interrogations, interviews. I like you to put relevant pictures up. I love that. I can't stand I like and dislike podcasts, I love listening, but if I hear something interesting, I want to be able to look on the screen, and I want to see corresponding images to the best of your ability. You know what I mean? If images don't exist of a mystery killer, then sure, but, put in a picture of a silhouette by a dark alleyway, something neat, Ronnie, what's your type when it comes to females? Well, I have a number of different types. Yeah, I definitely have a number of different types, but I really dig females that are into horror, you know? I guess I really do have a number of different types. But horror, witty, quick sense of humor, that's always good. Not uptight at all. Has to be kind of laid back, but still responsible. Not lazy, but still, maybe they procrastinate every now and then. Kind of a fine balance between the two. I'm cool with that, but the horror thing and having a good sense of humor, even not horror, I keep bringing that up, but you know what I mean. Someone who can kick it, watch a good movie. But horror chicks are awesome, so I think that's why I bring it up. I think one of the things that breaks me down is the ones that are just 2 hours, 3 hours. Well, maybe I had a cool girlfriend that took forever to put makeup on. That's fine. But there's a certain type. There's a certain limit. Like there's some females that it's just too long with the makeup. It's too much. You don't even look the same. Like when you go from makeup without makeup, you look totally different. Like there's some women who it's like, yeah, it's highlights, touches up, and it's like, you're stunning either way. Great. There's some women that are you two different people? How the fuck did that? What kind of makeup are you wearing? Is this magic makeup? I mean, what the fuck is going on? Am I drunk? Was I drunk half an hour ago? What is going on? I don't know. Really uptight, into personal possessions, miss me with all that bullshit. Get the fuck out of here, I can't deal with any of that shit. Will you finish up Friday the 13th series? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's getting done. Flaw vs. All, the human version. Yeah, pretty much. You can toke, just don't lip it. Yeah, don't get it wet. I have a friend like that with drinking. Yeah, we've all had, I'm sure a lot of us have run into friends that are just like, I grew up loving going to the movies, smelling popcorn. And there's been times where I've been like, you want to see a movie? Nah, man, I'm broke. I don't really want to spend $10. I got you. Come on. I'm going to see a movie anyway. I mean, if you got an hour to kill, 2 hours to kill, let me know. I'm going anyway. I'll pay for you. Come on, we'll go, And if there was no one around, I just went anyway, But still, I would offer. I'd be like, listen, I'm going anyway. I'll spot you $10. I don't give a fuck. But I won't be like, bro, I'll be right there. You're coming with me. No, I don't want to come with me. I don't want to come. No, you're coming. It's like, no, if you can't do it, you can't do it. I never in my life was like, nah, you got to drink, you got to smoke, you got to, or the people that are, and it's always people who are emotionally unstable. Sorry to say. If you're emotionally unstable and you do this, take a deep look inside yourself because you're probably annoying a lot of people around you, especially if you're younger, because you'll find these people they're the first ones to break when something goes wrong in their life emotionally. They're always the ones that are like, yeah, I want to have a good time. So I got to drink more. And you have to drink. Every time I look at you, you have to be chugging a beer. It's like, why? Because that's what I'm doing. And I'm fucking happy right now. It's like, okay, I'm hanging out. I was having a conversation. I can't talk and chug beer at the same time. I mean, I could try, but she probably won't hang around and talk with me if I do that, So let me finish talking. I'm going to keep sipping the beer. And then, we'll see where we go from there. I'm still going to be fucking wasted. We'll still be hanging out the window, probably at the same time throwing up. But what the fuck is the deal? Bob Saget died. Yeah, I heard about that. Someone said he was murdered. Where's that coming from? Do you have a movie scene that you find difficult to rewatch, being it is disturbing? Mine is the basement scene in the movie The Road. The basement scene in The Road. I've watched The Road. I don't think there's any disturbing wise. I think it has to be a movie where it's made purposefully to be like, I forget the name of it. There's one where I don't even know if it's part real or something, where they have it's like the elites bring people over and they like shit on plates and make them eat it. It's just a bunch of foul shit through the whole movie, just killing and raping and eating shit. Some of that I was like, what? I'm out. I'm checking out, you know? Is it the Serbian film? The guy like bangs like an infant to death or something. It's like, yeah, I'm done. You know, like, fuck this. I'm not watching any. There's like some twisted shit in those movies I don't even know why, because I didn't even finish it. I was just like, I'm so fucked. I'm not against, like, there's people who are really into like super gory stuff, I just didn't find anything interesting. It's not I'd rather a psycho killer in the woods ripping people's guts out, you know? That might sound weird to some people. I stop at banging infants, you know? That's where I draw the line. You can hunt, you know, men, women, you know, whatever. You can hunt them down in the woods, chop them up to itty bitty pieces. Cool with that. That's where I draw the fucking line. So that shit I won't watch again. But when you come to watching something that you legitimately enjoy watching and it crosses the line, the only thing I can think of is not even gore, to be honest. It's Blow. Ever since I had a daughter, I refuse to watch the ending of Blow. It's he breaks his promise to his daughter. If you haven't seen it in a while, go and rewatch it. I always stop the movie before the very end. I will not watch it. I just won't fucking do it. You know, I just won't do it. I'm not watching it. So that's my equivalent, because there's no other, not that I know, not that I remember, that's disturbing. That's disturbing for me in an emotional way. I just won't watch it. Betty White and now Bob Saget. Man, we were all getting old. I remember them both. No, there's somebody else. There was Betty White. There was somebody else that just died. That was Sidney Poitier, right? Yeah, Betty White, Sidney Poitier, and then Bob Saget. They do go in threes. There was also like a famous politician too, but that, you know, we already have three. So now we have three actors. So there we go. I tried to say who are messed up. I'm sorry. What update did I miss? Here are Cliff Notes. Anyone? It's not really the kind of update where it's like a schedule. If you're interested in just kind of, I'm looking for ideas, name changes. Do you like Flaws and Awes, Flaw vs. All review, or Cinema Score? Just kind of kicking around different thoughts and ideas. Yeah, they had people here that cannibalism were eaten. Trans eating a dog poo. Real poo. Got to rewatch the stream in a bit to catch up on everything. Missed everything. Oh, yeah. I got to get to bed, so I get up in the morning. I got to take my car down and get some new brakes put on it. So I am going to shut it down now, though, so I can get some sleep. I do appreciate everyone jumping on. Remember, Doomsday Kingdom pre-orders for issues 5 and 6 physical copy on the website. I will be doing a video coming up breaking the website down, so there's no rush. It'll be up there for the rest of January. We're going to do a soft close at the end of January, and then we'll do a official closeout of the pre-orders in February once we sell all the pre-orders out. And then, you know, a week or two with the printer, early February-ish. Hopefully we get it and everything's set in time to ship in end of February. And I'm giving a, you know, few days leadway here in case anything comes up that delays anything. So again, issue 5 and 6, anything in stock right now is in stock. I think we have limited quantities of issue 4 signature series. Is that the one? Yeah, that's the one with that gloss cover. That's friggin' amazing. Each signature series we try to do something a little special with. So 4 has a gloss cover. Issue 1 is a wraparound with a clear backboard and a special baggie in a archival baggie. It's friggin' amazing. We have blank variants in stock. We got a couple issue 4s in stock. So check it out. But read the descriptions though. Be sure, because if you click on it, let me give you an example. There's information for shipping that you're going to have to know, because if you go down to the shipping Where's that? Right here. Please triple check to make sure you provide the right address. No, oh yeah, right here. You will be responsible for providing a second shipping payment. That's for people. So, there's been a couple times where people just gave us the wrong address, like their old address. Believe it or not, that's happened. And, once we pay for shipping and they return the book, they don't refund our shipping. No, we paid for the book to go to the wrong address and then get returned to us. Sometimes it depends on their process. We have to pay to get the book back. So we have to pay the shipping there, and then when it gets returned, the shipping back. So we will ask, yeah, you got to repay if it's your fault that you messed up the address. Anyway, and then pay attention to VAT and customs and other stuff like that. And there should have been something else, though. I'll double check on where it's at. There should be a line. Yeah, I'll double check and look at where it's at. There should be a line about the shipping. If you're in the UK, your address will give you a thing. If you, for example, pick in the UK no tracking, you're absolutely responsible for no tracking. I think it's a few bucks more for tracking. Just do the tracking. I tell everyone. In the US, tracking comes on everything, so we don't have that problem. In the UK, there's like a cheap shipping rate with no tracking. I don't trust that at all. I know you save a few bucks, but just forget it. Just pay a few bucks so you have a tracking, because like I said, when there's no tracking, you're responsible for it, and that sucks, because if the post office loses it, I don't know. Just fuck it. Anyway, coming up next is going to be Antlers review. I'm sorry. Dexter, the New Blood finale and all that. Antlers, we're also going to do a Steelbook collection, best of collection type video. And next week sometime, Halloween 2018, followed quickly as I can, Halloween Kills. And then we'll be done with Halloween, and we're going to go back to Friday the 13th, part 6, and also maybe bounce around. I was gonna bounce around to Scream, but it does not look like anyone's interested in 2. If no one's interested in Scream 1, which is like a fucking, that thing is a masterpiece, I don't know if there's any reason to do 2. Not yet, anyway. Maybe if we build the community up, we have a reason. When they burn the kitties or burn the eyes in Slumdog Millionaire Nasty, I forget that. I've watched that, but I forget that. Since being the dad, The Strangers have never sat well with me. Yeah, The Strangers has some fucked up shit, especially since it's just random. What was the last issue number in the volume again? Issue 5. So issue 1 to 5 was released in the volume. So if you got the volume, you have read and you own issue 5, the inside contents. But we've never released a physical, just issue 5 alone, which is the release of the clown cover for the very first time. Everyone loves this clown cover. I mean, it's fucking iconic at this point, in my eyes. But yeah, you have 1 to 5 if you get this. But if you're into collecting single comic, the single floppy comics, then issue 5 for the first time. And for the first time ever, issue 6, digital and physical. We've never released issue 6 before, ever. Issue 5 is released in digital. You can do it right now. You can go up here to digital. Where's it at? Digital Comics, and grab issue 6 PDF, or issue 5 PDF. Boom. And you could read it right now. Like right now. But 6 is not available until we release it in physical with the rest. And if you get the volume, this has 1 to 5 in it. And we still have, look at that beautiful volume. I'm so proud of that. And you still get the postcards. We have 50 left of these, give or take. You get the trading card, the bookmark, and that is it. Man, look at that stack. We're down to one of these stacks now, Anyway, with the volume, I think I could be wrong, but I think there's about 40 with everything. And then there's like 10 that were extras that have everything except the bookmark. So if the gold celebratory bookmark is your thing, definitely get in quick while they're still around. Because once that's gone, we'll never reprint this like how it is. It's going to have a different cover with no blood splatter, and it won't have any of the bonus stuff with it. Just for anyone who's new or who forgot. Back to comics. Hopefully that answered any other questions, and I just need to get 6 then. Yep, if you already got the volume and you're just reading and you're not a comic collector specifically, then you should be good with just 6. Just ordered my copies of 5 and 6. Can't wait to get them. Awesome, Jeff. Awesome. Thank you very much for the support. I think later Scream movies are better, or I like them better anyways. Oh, I think you're crazy. But if you like them, you like them. I'm glad I've got the big clown poster. Yeah, Austin Becker has the clown, the original one of a kind that was scanned and turned into the cover. I'm even jealous of that because that was supposed to be mine. I never took a single original cover to any of the comics because we put them out to sell for the readers. So that way the readers get a one-of-a-kind piece. I do have some one-of-a-kind prints we're going to do a stream in the future and maybe sell some through PayPal directly to you guys. So we're holding some goodies. But that was the one where when I told it to James about the clown and yada, 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 I said, that's the one cover that I want, And when he did it, he was like, we have the campaign. It would be a good idea if we put it up as one of the big tiers. I mean, let somebody get it. And I was like, you son of a bitch. So we did it, Because I'll never turn down giving something out to the supporters, not at all. But I'm holding my I don't know, my whatchamacallit. I'm holding my one-time card where I'm going to throw it down and say, nope, I want that original no matter what. I do have the original page of one of the robbers pounding in the feeding post, which is the origin of the feeding post, which you don't know it yet. At least I thought it was. It's the very origin to the feeding post. There's a history to the feeding post. And then we seen it in the very beginning. So when you start in issue 1, you're in present day. The feeding post has been around for 10 years. There's a history there. Other people have died at the feeding post. The house has a history. There's been a little mini gun battle at the house. There's a, broke down, rotted car. And then you go back in time, 10, 20 years. And this is the house where it's fresh. There's no abandoned car there. It looks nice. It's just a house in the country, a little type of getaway. And you see this person pounding the post in the ground for the first time, which is about to slowly be introduced into the story, but at least that's the first look. So I thought, where's the fucking, oh, there it is. So I thought, that was incredibly fun to do. Issue work in progress. There we go. Issue 5. I'm trying to see if I have an example of what I have on my wall. Oh, that looks awesome. Oh, yeah, I do have an example. It's the one-of-a-kind original. It is, well, they're usually 11 by 17, but I believe this one is a little bigger because it's like a UK size. I love that picture. And when it's colored on the page, it looks, here's a little peek at, this is one of the in progress shots. And then we have the final shot. Is this the final? This is the final image? Yeah. And then we have the final image. Haha. So, this is what I saw first. James is like, here we go. And I told him, we can't see his face. He's got to be about to come down, slam. We're going to put little words on the screen where it's like thunk, because he hears it in the background, the rider. He's like, what the hell is your boy doing? And that's the big reveal for the end of the volume before the tease, because the tease is like the big reveal. And then James sends me this. He's like, yeah, I'm going to do the sky like this. We'll put his clothes. This will give you an idea. And I'm like, yes, I love it. I want that sky to be, punching. You're on the right track. I love it. And then he sends me this, and I'm like, fuck yes. Bam. You look at it. The sky's punching through the green of the trees. The grass is popping. You got the little sky down here rocking. And then this is before I lettered it. So do I have where I lettered it? Is that the same? Yeah. Oh, all right. I left the files in a format that you can't see. I can't just click on it to open to view it. Yeah, I'm excited to get the next issue done. I love going from a little sketch. Sometimes it's just even a sketch that I did. I'll show you a sketch recently. I was kicking around ideas for short stories. I'll just keep it simple, but I was talking to someone today about a short story idea, and I drew this sketch. It's a sad sketch, but my hope is to get somebody who's good at taking these and turning them either into paintings, drawings, or photoshops, and creating some type of artwork like a poster promo, but something that we can share easily online. Either, come on. Yeah, here it is. Either, oh, you guys won't even be able to see it. A little short, but here's the idea. Here's a sketch. Give me a break. I put it together in like 2 minutes just to show someone what I'm thinking is. You have tall trees on either side with the tree branches. So it's a point of view looking out from the woods. And then here is the killer. Dirty, long hairish, but we have a look, but I just don't have a look drawn out. Maybe a decapitated head here looking back at us. He's holding a knife, but not like in this ridiculous fashion. Or the knife is stuck in this downed tree. There's a campfire here. There's supposed to be the front of a lake here, but again, this is a 2-minute sketch, not a final product. You have the person who's gagged up on the tree. This is so scary. These are the sketches that I send to like the artist for the comic when I have an idea for a panel. The poor guy, he's got to take this and turn it into, he's like, oh my God. No, this isn't bad. You get what instead of me saying point of view outside the woods, guy sitting on a downed tree with a decapitated head. There's a fire. There's a guy on the ground with or a guy or a girl gagged up, tied up. And then you get the city. Here's the important part. It's at nighttime. You have some clouds in the back. You got the moon shining. But the important part is across the lake, you're going to have the lights from the town. So you might not even see a lot of this. It'll be blurry, artistic lighting, and it's reflecting off the lake water. That's important for that visual. I even saved some. It doesn't matter. But you get the visual of the town across the lake looking out, point of view, and the tagline is, if you make it back to town, you live. For right now. Again, a simple, because we need a one shot to promote it. There it is. Bang. Here's the one shot. Bam. And hopefully I got to find somebody that can take this, create that town across the lake. I saved some images. I think I saved it in my phone, though. God damn, it's heading for 3. I got to learn to shut the fuck up. Yeah, to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, I will get on the phone and save images like this Get out of here. And save images like this of, you know, a town. I need a new screen protector on this damn thing. And see how it's reflecting off the lake. Here's somebody sitting, just to give you an idea of a person sitting across. There's a lake, them sitting down. You're getting a lot of reflections. But you got that town across the lake and how it's reflecting off the water. Someone could take that type of picture in Photoshop, somebody sitting down, they piece it all together, then they pop it on like an Apple iPad, right? And then they go in with their whatever kind of art tools they got, digital, and they can do the sketch and the outline and touch it up, tweak it up, add some it's all digital, but it's essentially digital paintbrushes to it. Give a cool stylistic look. I think that would look fucking awesome. What's a good way to... Similar to what I did with the thumbnail. Actually, is a good way to put it. This is what I mean by giving it... And there's multiple ways to do it, too. But I just recently ran into this artwork. I don't know anything about the artist. His name is Dan Mumford. But I'm going to look into him because I just found this before I went live. And I created the thumbnail because I was like, oh my God, I love that shit. Myers with Laurie Strode down there. There's Pinhead with Hellraiser. There's Jason Voorhees with... This is either Paul and Ginny or... It looks like maybe Paul and Ginny. No, it can't be because that was Sackhead. So who would this be? This would be Tommy and what's her name? Yeah, that would be Tommy and what's her name, I think. It doesn't matter. The final girl. Here's Jaws. Here's Freddy with Nancy. So the artwork here, I love these. I hate when artists come out and they have limited runs. Because I just found out about this artist. And it's like, yo, this is fucking sick. I want Freddy. I want Myers, Jason. Sell me a 3-pack, 11 by 17. Not even anything special. You can print out, 200 of these 11 by 17 for like $20. You can sell them for $10 a pop and make a fucking $1 million, No, but for real, you can make a shit ton of money because if you're printing in bulk, you get these dirt cheap and it'd be like photo paper, it'd be like a poster. Anyhow, I look him up and all his shit's sold out. It's like those types of artists where they throw it up. I don't know anything about that guy, but I found artists that I like. There's like a holiday guy on Instagram. I love some of his stuff, but his sales don't make any sense. It makes sense. I get it. The sales are gimmicks where it's like, hurry up and buy it now or else you'll never get the chance to get it. It's like, why the fuck do you do that? Do you really make that much money selling, 200 copies of this when you can sell it for years? Just take this. You already made that piece of art. Make 2,000 of them. Put it on your website. Just sell it. Every time you get new fans, you're constantly selling. I would have went in, gotten Scream, Myers, Jason, because his Jason was like Jason with the guitar from Takes Manhattan. Bad movie, but his poster was awesome. Uses a weird thin style so it doesn't take up a lot of space. Fuck yeah. Scream, Jason, Myers, yada, 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 yada. Maybe there's something I'm missing. But when it comes to artists that limit their stuff to, you have to buy my stuff now or a week from now, and I'll never make that one thing again, and there's only like 100 of them. And again, I get the idea behind a certain group of people love buying stuff that's like insanely rare. You're printing on canvas paper. Okay, fine. But just make an 11 by 17 of cheap poster paper. Who gives a fuck? I don't know. Just a little mini rant because those people, as of right now, I have like a boycott. Anyone that sells insanely limited shit, I just won't even buy from them, because imagine if you bought this Myers and you're a huge horror fan and you're like, well, my top 3 are Myers, Freddy, and Jason. How awesome would that be to have all 3 in that same style, same artist? Man, I can have Jason. You got the Jason 1/6 scale figure. You got the NECA figures, a little Jason shrine with this picture. Then the Freddy. You got the 1/6 scale Freddy right here. NECA figures right there. Look at that. Bam. And then you could do the same thing with Ghostface as an example. Myers. I have Myers, Freddy, Jason in 1/6 scale, even Ghostface, and NECA. It would be perfect like setup. But you can't because artists do all their shit sold out so quick. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm wrong. I can't fathom why you would sell 200 of admittedly an awesome piece of art instead of selling 2,000 of them over 2 years. Instead of selling 200 in a week, sell 2,000 over 2 years. Just keep throwing them up. Do like a limited canvas run of expensive paper, that material, and then do like the cheaper poster version. I know why they won't though, because everyone will skip the expensive version, the premium one, and buy the cheap shit. And I know why they do it, like buy now or else it's limited, because then it forces people to go, oh shit, I have to buy it. I get the gimmick of why. I just don't understand the community aspect. Like, it's secretly anti-consumer. I guess that's why I hate it. Like with what was it? McFarlane Toys, who I have a lot of love and respect for. He's been making entertainment stuff since I was a kid. Literally, I got his toys for Christmas. But he does some really anti-consumer gimmick shit that is frustrating. And when you know about it, it's worse. Maybe when you don't know about it, it's like, it's annoying, but what he'll do is he'll release a figure, Batman, right? And then instead of doing what NECA does, where they're like, well, here's Batman, here's Myers from Halloween Kills. Here's Myers, here's all his weapons, here's all his heads, here's all his hands, in a box, $30, boom, take him. And he looks fucking amazing from Halloween Kills, right? Here's all his shit. Now you can put him on display, and guess what? Since he's got multiple masks, a better design on the body, the proportions are right, I'm going to throw NECA some more love. I'm going to get 2 of them. I might get 3 of them. I might repaint one. Matter of fact, look at this. I repainted a 2018 just because I wanted a little bit of pizzazz on one. This body, I was doing a test video for my other channel. You can't see him good, but he's repainted. Here's a closer look of the original color. But he's got like this high contrast blue going on. Yeah, how close can I get him? Yeah. Anyway, so NECA will give you everything. Here's different heads, hands. You want a decapitated head? Here's a decapitated head. NECA will just fucking give you ripped off heads. Look, here's a head. I repainted one with blood, though. I wanted to do a super bloody one. Anyway, they give you everything. McFarlane will be like, all right, here's Batman. A month later, here's Batman, but he's bleeding. Same fucking Batman. Now, NECA, people argue, but McFarlane's cheaper. Okay, let's play that game. You buy one NECA, you get all the figures, all the hands, all the heads. Boom. McFarlane, for $30. McFarlane, $20, but you only get like the figure. Maybe a fat boomerang if you're lucky. Then a month later, he comes out with a bloody version. So now, 20 turns into 40. But guess what? 2 months later, Batman without the mask. It's Bruce Wayne in the bat suit. Maybe he just got his ass kicked. Maybe he's going to go bang Catwoman. I don't know. He took his mask off. Now you're a huge Batman fan, right? You love Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne in the bat suit. Reminds me of Michael Keaton, ripped off his shit, right? Now you got to spend another $20 instead of him just giving you all the fucking heads. Nope. Now you're paying $60. NECA would have just made you pay $30 and given you everything all in one shot. And then they come out with it's Batman again. But instead of black and gray, he's blue and gray. Yeah, you like that, huh? Oh, look at this. 6 months down the line. you got 5 fucking Batmans. This is the same Batmans. Meanwhile, McFarlane has made 37,000 Batmans since then, other types. Except for when they haven't made a medieval Batman by now. You have 70,000 Batmans in 2 years. No medieval Batman. I don't know why. I don't know why you wouldn't do that. I don't know why I thought of that, but medieval Batman just sounds like some shit you should do. Make it happen. Anyway. So now you got you spent $100. You bought the same fucking Batman 5 times because they keep coming out with things that should have been in the first package. And now they came out with Batman, but without the cape. He's got like gun holsters or some shit. That's parts of a real figure. But my point is, what was my fucking point? Oh yeah, anti-consumer gimmicks. Like I said, I love McFarlane toys. I have a lot of respect for even Todd. He succeeded because not because of, but a big part of why he succeeded is because he has an eye for style. He really does. Where he hits these walls is where he comes up with notions that he's real stubborn on. Like, he doesn't like articulation, so, it's cheaper to do without articulation. It's less of a headache. It's a fuck ton cheaper. And it does look better having no articulation in that way. I mean, you could say that, but this guy articulates. He moves his arms up, down, left, right. And when you put him on the shelf, you barely fucking notice. He's there. He's holding the weapon. People know there's going to be little, you're going to know their arms articulate. It won't be perfect. And that's fine because it's not meant to be a museum. It's a $30 piece that you put next to your movies. And it's just like there's Myers next to the Halloween movies. There's Jason next to the Friday movies. It's just a little knick-knack that you put up. Modern day knick-knack. Anyhow, he hits these stubborn anti-consumer walls. Another one that McFarlane does that's real frustrating is the Chase variant. This is something they did. They still do it now, but it's a practice that should have died in the fucking 90s. It's where they'll come out with a Batman, right? And then they'll come out with a Batman, but something is different, and he's a Chase, and you can't buy him. Like, McFarlane will make Wolfman in color, and then Wolfman in black and white. You want Wolfman in black and white? You just buy him. NECA will just sell you a black and white Wolfman. McFarlane will say, we got a black and white Batman, but we're going to randomly and secretly insert them into online orders. So when you buy off Amazon, when you buy off GameStop, you don't know if your Batman has a mask or Bruce Wayne face. You don't know if your Batman comes with, what did I just fucking say? Color or no color at all. They call it the artist proof edition, which is funny because fans started asking for the artist proof edition because they weren't painting their figures all the way. So fans were just like, well, if you're not going to paint your figures, just sell us cheap versions without paint. But McFarlane was like, I know what to do. I'll sell you unpainted figures for the same price as painted figures, and I'll call them chases, and you'll fucking eat it up. There's just frustrating, like, anti-consumer stuff that I'll end on. Nobody cares. I'm just venting on just those practices. I just don't like them. I don't like blind bag shit. I think it's all that. It's just a way to get rid of junk. I'm excited to follow DK's story into real time. Completely missed Invincible. I caught The Walking Dead around the Whisper War. So glad. I'm glad too. I enjoyed that. People starting from the very beginning and following us through. Hopefully, I'm pushing to get us situated to where we're doing it ourselves on a more consistent basis. And we're getting some type of support to where we can self-sustain to some degree. Even if it's one issue every 2 months, 3 months, I fully believe we can make it work. I believe in the story enough and where it's going that it'll pick up and catch on. And once we build that audience, schedule me Monday or morning. I appreciate that. Do you have Day it is supposed to be night or day on it. Yeah, I had nighttime on it with reflections and yada yada yada. Jaws is really actually cool. All right, but I am gonna shut it down, or else I'll be chatting all night with you guys. But we're 3 hours into this. I remember at the 2 hour mark, I was like, I better shut up, and then I'm talking for 10 minutes, and I look over, and it's been an hour. I am terrible. I am in so much trouble tomorrow. It's not even funny. Because I was going to wake up early, get my car to the garage, and then, you know what I'll do? I'll take it to the garage, and then I'll just use that as an excuse to just fall the fuck asleep until I gotta pick it up. That's what I'll do. Fuck it, you know. Without a car, why, break your back looking for a ride, going places? My car's in the shop, bro. I gotta go home and go to bed for a few hours. All right, guys, thank you very much for the support. If you have any thoughts and opinions on names, Flaw vs. Our review or Cinema Score, if you have thoughts, I'd love to hear them. I'm just curious. Put them all down below and keep an eye out for some videos coming out this week, leading into some big ones next week. Be safe, and I'll see you in